Neither, but
Uh, hey everybody, this is Jay Takashi, guys. Welcome to our 200 subs special stream, and today we have a guest, my man Marvelous Opinion, and my man Wally West, who you already know up top. But and like I said, pretty much this is more this stream is for you guys. But so if you want to come on up, the link is in the chat here. Other than that, if you have questions for me, particularly Wally or Marvelous, while he's still here, feel free to ask him. Like I said, we'll answer to the best of our capabilities. But also, we're gonna have casual conversation up here. And if you want to, like I said, type in the chat, come up, ask us whatever you want. You are welcome to come on up. Other than that, guys, we'll get into the intro, and then we're gonna get this stream started. And guys, you know how I do it. I always count from 5 in Japanese to 1. So, I always got to do it for y'all because I'm trying to teach you guys something here. So from go, yon, san, ni, ichi, zero. Let's go.
El Rella woman.
All right, guys. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the intro because I love it every time I hear it. And I've been working on a new outro probably 4 months from now. Well, been thinking about doing that, but I like the outro so far. And the new intro is awesome. But yeah, guys, like I said, welcome to the stream. And like I said, have any questions, you're welcome to come on up. And I want to say, first of all, thank you all for helping me get to 200 subscribers. Like I said, this means everything to me. And I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad for the viewers, the support, and the grinding of Wally, Marcus, myself, and the people who've come on the streams as well to add to, this channel's upcoming success, things like that. Like I said, there's still more to come and still more work to do. All I can say is let's get to 3. Now let's go ahead and try to get to 300 next. If we can, let's try to get it to the end of to December. Let's try to get to 300 at least if we can.
right.
That's a challenge, but I'm gonna be putting in the work. Wally will be putting in the work. Marcus will be, and also a couple of new cats that you haven't met yet will be also putting in work here. The majority won't be me. The reason why is because in my channel, my responsibility. I'm responsible for trying to bring up the system.
Yeah, look here. When it comes to all parts of the work, it's gonna be a lot of people. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, say that, but my responsibility. Don't like I said. I want to buy.
Your responsibility is only a small minute. Let's be real here. When it comes to business, a lot of responsibility is held by other people. So slow down.
True. And also, guys, I want you guys since our man isn't here, I want to give a prayer and a blessing to my man Marcus. He's sick right now with strep throat and everything.
Right.
I'll try to wish him a speedy recovery and everything like that, and hopefully he gets better. And like I said, there won't be a Marcus stream this week because he's recovering and healing up, and I'm doing that for the betterment of him, so that he gets better and he's all 100%. Because like I said, there ain't a party without the brother. So like I said, let's keep him in your thoughts and also wish him the best in his recovery. But all in all, guys, like I said, there won't be any Marcus stream this Thursday. It's going to be so here's the plan for this coming week. So we're gonna have Tuesday. I don't know yet. I have a day off on Tuesday, and
To be determined.
Yeah, to be determined so far. But also, I'm trying to get in talks of trying to have a stream with someone, particularly named Quibri, and we're trying to see if we can get a stream in here for an anime stream with her and talking about an actual particular series. But that's in talks right now. I don't know if that's going to go down yet on Tuesday. If not, then it'll just be it won't be a stream that day. It might just be news that might be relaying to you guys on Tuesday. Now for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have 3 things going down. So we're gonna have the Prince of Egypt discussion talk on Wednesday, and Vagoda's trying to come through on that, and hopefully me and him and everyone else will talk about what we think about the movie, but also what we think about Moses, the character of Moses, Ramesses, his brother and sister, everything you went through. We're gonna have a whole big discussion about that on Monday. Like I said, you can be religious or not religious to join that conversation. Simple enough. No one's excluded. And Thursday, one of the best conversations we'll be having is Rocky. We're going to be talking about the whole Rocky series franchise, and anybody who has seen those movies are welcome to join and have a conversation. If not, I can solo that whole entire stream myself on a Thursday. It ain't a problem. Trust me, because I got notes of everything that happened in that man's life, and I can talk about each point through and through. So I would love to have Capstone who has seen the Rocky series and explain why they love it, because I'm going to talk about why I love it. And the conversation I just had with Marvelous behind the back just now about a particular what Rocky has in his life, that's going to be a point I'm going to relay in the stream too and go further in depth into. So Thursday, be prepared for that Rocky stream. So for Friday, there won't be any anime talk, but it's going to be a particular game franchise series that has a lot of in-depth weight into it, and also a lot of talk that base its life on the light of one's heart and also the darkness of one's life. And it's going to be the Kingdom Hearts series we're going to talk about. And it's going to be featuring me and my man Slick Ryuga. We're going to be talking about it. And trust me, that might be a 2 to 3 hour conversation because, guys, we're talking about every one of the goddamn games, but also we're talking about deep, complex themes here that we're going to be getting deep into about that shit. And then trust me, guys, I can make that stream be 8 hours if I wanted, but I ain't trying to be up for 8 hours. It's going to be like 2 to 3, maybe 4, but I see the maximum I see is 3. And anybody who has played the franchise, anybody who wants to ask questions about it particularly, they're welcome to ask us questions, but that's not, but in the first whole hour is just going to be me and Ryuga talking about it for the most part. We'll talk about our gaming experience with it, and also I guess how it made us, how it impacted us in our way of thinking about, what life means to us in a sense. I mean, I can correlate that with Rocky too if I wanted to, but those things go hand in hand. But all in all, those are the 3 things that are going to be going down for Wednesday to Friday. And so just be on the lookout for those. And, just, hey, man, just I would say just put your notifications on and just wait for the streams to drop. Other than that, let's just, let's get into it, y'all. But that's all for announcements. Thank you for putting it in the chat, Wally. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, let's talk a better Black life, brother. I appreciate you being in the chat. Thank you, man. He said hit the like, y'all. So, Marvelous, brother. Any questions you have for me or any topic you would like to have with us, particularly?
That's a good question. Let me say.
Go ahead, man.
Well,
book right now.
I'll say value. We always talk about value. Like, what do you value? Because that's the thing I think people get lost in the sauce about, when it comes to trying to find out who they are, they lose sight of what they really value in life. So I guess we could talk about that in a sense, like what it is that you value, like what do you find valuable about yourself, and then what do you look for in life when it comes to value? So what makes you valuable and what do you look for in value?
It's actually, it's actually gonna come as a surprise. I'm not saying I don't think I do or do not have a value, but I think for me, my value comes in helping other people. It also comes in through the hard work I do of talking to other people, having conversations, but also trying to push some people who are younger than me, the youth, into being better people than myself. Like I said, I've had a lot of talks with young cats, a lot of young boys, some ladies every now and then I talk to them, but more majority of the guys, the young boys. And I think my value is coming from the pleasure I get from helping them, trying to not steer them a wrong path, but also give them a little bit of advice of what I've done, but also like the abilities that they're good at, and just sit down and just listen to hear them talk. Because because the thing is, I don't preach an echo chamber. What I mostly do is let them get their thoughts off to hear what they have to say to me, and I listen. I don't rebuttal. I don't do any of that nonsense. I just really hear the young cats talk, and I get some pretty good results back in return.
That
And
sounds like one of my values too. One of my values, basically, that sounds like knowledge and wisdom. Like you value knowledge and wisdom. That's also something you're willing to give other people is knowledge and wisdom. I'm 100% with that because with that type of value, I can increase other people's values. You know what I'm saying? So if it's information they need on whatever it is, whether it's getting money or if it is to get better health or something, if I got knowledge on that, I'm able to pass that on, which makes that person more valuable. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like what you're saying. That's very true. That's actually my favorite one personally. You know what I'm saying? Is knowledge and wisdom.
I would say another one for me is I think it's just more so my ability to learn from other people. Just really similar. So me giving out the information, but also receiving it from other people and hearing about your own personal struggles or your personal endeavors that you dealt with is good for me to hear because I hear enough of that from my father, which I'm still not done listening. There's still more to listen to him from, and because I love hearing his stories, because I it baffles me how he's lived his life more often than not, and there's some funny stories in there that that you would think he would get kicked to the curb from, like, but nah, no, it's not. Like he's former military, former policeman, and just worked at the General Correction Center. He's done everything. And including raising me and things like that. So his willingness to give me information, I'm willing to receive it, and then I'm willing to take that and learn from it, and try to take some sense of solace and some information to improve my life. I think always helps me, and I think it helps not to be ignorant, even though we say sometimes people say ignorance is bliss on some things. Not everything. There are some things you need to listen to, and there's some things that you need to, of course, walk away when you get crooked information. But I think it's always a one to have that one ear open so you can utilize that information whenever it might come to your benefit later on. Because someone told me, let's say 3 years ago, actually came to pass, and good thing it was a good thing that I'd listened. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in a good position at that point. So I think the willingness to hear other people come is very necessary, and you not be ignorant and stuck in your own pride and ego. Won't be your downfall if you're willing to put it to the side for a while and humble yourself to hear what someone has to say. Like I said, I'm still a work in progress. Wally knows this. Freaking, let's talk better about life. I told them last night. Listen, we're still a work in progress over here, man. I'm like I said, the basic things and critical things I know, but I'm still learning, still trying to get better. I'm still trying to make it more consistent than what it actually is right now. So, got a routine going on. Just got to keep doing it.
100%. What you got there, Wally? What you value, man? What is it that makes you valuable?
I'm curious what Wally gonna say.
Oh man. I mean, honestly, what the thing I value that is valuable to others. I mean, honestly, in most cases, I value the same. Being a supporter in other ways. But I mean, but for me, like just overall, starting with myself, which then expands to others. One thing about me is I'm just naturally. I'm that type of person that seeks a lot of things, but basically seek information, seek knowledge, seek all that. Because one thing about me is, one thing I had to learn in this life is you won't really know what you know until you out there and search it and hunt it down, and then you're gonna realize you wish you knew it sooner than ever in your life. Because one of the biggest things for me, especially, is like when I chose to because there was a point in time where in my life I was just sort of a little bit stagnant. So I was like, all right, so I'm home most of the times, all this other stuff. I'm like, all right, I gotta leave the hell out of here because I don't like waking up just to see the same freaking walls every single damn day. So I'm like, all right. Well, eventually, I just chose to go to the park, chill out, just be able to see the scenery and all of this. And eventually that came to good fruition because I saw I eventually met up with someone that I called a great person I talked to and get a lot of insight from. And then eventually from that point, it was like, all right, so I'm like, I don't even want to do this either. So I'm like, damn, so I got to get the next thing. What's the next thing? And I remembered there was literally a library over right around the corner from my house. So I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm gonna just get up, go over there, do all this. And now that I constantly go there every single time, at that point, I always look around these books, always look around, look at these stuff, and I'm always collecting myself ideas because even if I'm staying stagnant to a lot of stuff, doesn't mean that I don't constantly develop things that I want to work with or I want to eventually work with later on. So then I always plan things out here and there like that stuff, looking up stuff, researching information all the time, either on the computer or in a book, one or the other. And one of the biggest like shock factors for me was when I got these books was Eat This Not That book series, right? And there was two of them in the library. Those two books, man, look, when I read that, man, look, I feel sick inside because most of that stuff, man, it was literally telling you in there about certain things. It was, oh man, it was a sickening. It was sickening. But I'm glad I knew it now because it's like okay, now when I go to the market, I'm never touching these Asian items ever. Like I ain't trying to touch none of them. So it's like I ain't rocking with it. It's like okay, I already know what you all about. I know what you all about. I ain't rocking with none of y'all. So that's one thing for me. I'm always a seeker of information. That's my thing. Even to my content, right? Especially to my content because I have a channel that's more about wealth and even in that, I value like this system because it's basically the four pinnacles of what wealth is, right? Which is alignments of financial, social, time, and health, right? So those are like the four pillars of it. So I value that system, and that system from myself and let alone to expand to others is a wealth factor overall because everyone don't know how to make money out here. You think just getting up and go do a job and not fight, that's what your money is. No, that's not where your financial wealth is going to come from at all most of the times. It's going to be the starting point, it's going to be the start point, but it's not going to be the end point. And then, of course, the other factors that go along with it, the social aspects, the timing aspect, and then also the health aspect. And when you think about it, from mostly what we've been talking about in the backstage, a lot of you, between you and Jay, most of you guys been actually talking about the social aspects because, let's be real here, to be able to have that information and give it to then see value of among someone, that's how you become that because you have to be able to gain that value, then that to be able to spread that value, which is why you have the social wealth of that value. So that's what one of the key points that make you valuable as a person.
All facts right there, brother. No lie, man.
Right.
And you know what? I learned that lesson about 2.5 weeks ago from KRS-One. And that's the reason why I asked y'all that question about value, because he said, like, it don't cost nothing to validate your partners. So to validate you, to validate Jay, it don't cost me anything. You know what I'm saying? It's better to build you up, make you more valuable, because you, just knowing you, that benefits me. It makes me valuable because I'm surrounded by people of value. You know what I'm saying? It's like a come up. People call it like, there's clout chasing and then there's a come up. You know what I'm saying? Building your team, building your people around you is different than just going after someone and basically like riding their coattails and you asking stuff from them, but you ain't giving no input. You ain't making them valuable. You just being a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Sucking the life out of someone. But when you're trying to do the opposite and that's put life in them, you're just making them valuable. And they're going to look at you and appreciate you for that because, again, you just there to make them better. And vice versa. It should be like doing good for each other. But that's just one of the things that I would say in our particular community that we lack in is value in each other. Where in our community, we're willing to tear each other down with the quickness. And it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to critique each other. But the thing is, when you don't have any faith in your people, that's why we feel the way we feel and have insecurity, because it's like we lack faith in each other. Like I said, I realized what KRS-One was saying. I said, damn, he's not wrong, because when he was talking about hip hop, he was like, it was two guys with just 10 cents to them names, you know what I'm saying, in total. 5 cents for him, 5 cents for me, and like we started just doing our own thing. He came to me, and like there's two ways you can look at it. Like he came to me, came with the freestyle as a rap, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, that shit whack. And he's like, damn, I'm whack. And now these two guys just now stuck in poverty because the mentality is I ain't shit. Now flip it and reverse it. He said, yo, that rhyme you just said, that shit was crazy. I like that joint, right? Now he feels validated. The man has just been validated. Now he feels valuable. And you here with him, it's your homeboy, you're riding with him, and you let everyone know, like, listen to this man. This man is the shit. You know what I'm saying? So now people are tuning in. And what you're doing is making that person more valuable by people seeking him out, hearing his name. So now you're not just some person with 10 cents in his pocket. You now this guy with this gift that is actually valuable and people want to actually hear you. So now you can basically make money. You can monetize off your stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Because you become the product. You are the product. You are the valuable person. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how, and then we did that. You know what I'm saying? Because like back in the day, like companies didn't want to mess with people who did hip hop. Hip hop was like an underground thing. It was frowned upon and stuff like that. In some places, like in Russia, it's still illegal. In China, but it's still illegal too. But like we made it our thing, and then we made it so much noise, and we were doing so much well with it. Corporations couldn't even ignore us no more. Now they want everything they can offer. You know what I'm saying? Before y'all didn't like us. Now we the shit because we validated ourselves. Remember, they didn't validate us. We validated ourselves first. We made ourselves valuable, and then they came out to seek us, and now they're exploiting us. And we should be exploiting each other. In a way, we kind of sell out to the game that way. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So to that point, when you said like it doesn't cost nothing, I mean to that point, I mean as far as just the value of cash flow, yeah, it don't value nothing. But I think in the same sense, when we talk about value, I mean the only thing it really values is our time. That's really all that counts. It's our time, because when we put in our time to really be here today, like look, 3 of us right now. We're putting in our time of our days to actually be here on live, on a stream. No, we could have just did our separate things, just live our lives, do our separate things, kick back. Yep. We took in time to give our time here for the viewers and ourselves to actually have a conversation and to celebrate this 200 subscribership. So, I mean, that's one thing about that.
And the thing is, we didn't have to come on and do it, to be honest. And I tell people, like, yeah, but we're doing this to share time with you, giving you guys entertainment technically for free. And sharing our experiences, our thoughts and opinions with you more often than not. So, I've always said before, like I said, normally we just put out, like, I don't have a Twitter or anything like that, but that's why I said some things that are conveyed can be conveyed through freaking dialogue, through a freaking text. Better through coming out of your mouth as opposed to you just typing something down. Because for me, I hate texting. I even hate talking on the phone. I prefer to talk to somebody face to face, similar to this. But hey, we different parts of the world, so this is the best we got to talking to each other and actually seeing one another. That's why I told. I think even in high school, I never liked it. I like the whole idea of texting, and I'm like, no, sweetheart, come meet me up and talk. Talk with me. The reason why is because you can't look side. Because right now you probably can look sideways and do all types of silly shit on the phone that I can't see, or try to convey to you through a freaking talk. But when I talk to you face to face, I'm looking right at you, talking right to you, and I don't have to stutter my words on you now because I see it. Because the thing is, it's just courteous and respectful to do that. But that's one of the things that we do whenever you decide to do this type of I would say it's this type of platform or this type of talk that you want to do with other people whenever you're coming online. Like I said, you're sacrificing time out of your day to do something like this in order to give entertainment towards somebody and maybe give out some advice that might help somebody. I say give out advice is one of the main things I say. Either you give them drama, you can give them probably hulu bullshit, or you can, give them some worthwhile to take that they might walk away with. Oh, and guys, we got a comment. Hello, sister Princess K. How you doing? Hey, brother Jay. Happy spending the chat from fam. Stay blessed and hydrated. Listen, I went through a bottle of water already. I got some citrus sweet tea right now, so I just need it for the freaking healing right now. But other than that, I'm healed. And sister, thank you so much for supporting me. Appreciate it. Thank you for me getting 200 subs, sister. Love you. Anytime you want to come on and do a special for like Korean talk, whatever, sweetheart, you're welcome to do that here. And I'll join you because I listen to the music too, so we cool. But other than that, Wally, I think there's an announcement you wanted to make about
Yeah,
your stream in November.
right. No problem. But just one more thing I just want to add on to it, the
Go ahead,
conversation.
sir.
Because one of the things, one of the things is when you hear about these conversations out here, they always want to talk about, the value of their money and this and that. And they always want to speak on that component all the time. But I'm like, dude, you can spend money regardless in life. It's not the biggest value. I mean, sure, you don't want to waste it on someone else's kid and all that. Great, whatever. Okay, cool. But my thing is, you're gonna waste it regardless. The next thing, the next thing you wasted on is not the greatest thing you wasted on. It is not. It is not. The real thing, look, if someone were to literally sit here and say, oh, what is the biggest thing when it comes to dealing with another kid? And you're going to say money is going to be the next problem. That's anything in life, though. The biggest problem is you just don't want to put the time in the kid. That's really what it is. Because the worst thing in the world is, let's keep it real. The worst thing in the world is you put your time in this kid and then they didn't even value you. They didn't value you to even listen to you or even to care what the hell you had to say. But then my thing is, why are you so triggered by it knowing you have no attachment to this kid? But once again, but they'll never hear me on that. They'll say, nah, bro, nah. It's about that money, bro. I ain't trying to get trapped in none of that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to bring those fools up over here, but I will say this, at least for me, so Marvelous can hear. Recently, a lot of these motherfuckers are showing these ass clones are showing their ass right now. And I'm loving it. And the reason why I'm loving it, because it's just karma is a bitch. It really is. And Sima Therapy, shout out to them for saying this phrase, chickens come to roost. That's what it is. And theirs is roosting really big time. And extra crispy at this point. That image, trust me, is tumbling away. So like I said, chickens come to roost, and the truth comes out whether they like it to or not. And them being angry and nonsensical, crazy. Yeah, like I said, they listen. Live y'all your lives. I'm living mine over here. I don't particularly care about y'all bullshit. I'm just here over. Like I said, I'm here over here just to be chill, be calm, and just be the very best version of myself. Because nothing they do affects me or my life, and them niggas ain't paying my bills as far as I'm concerned. So, other than that, hey man, hey listen, my advice, I'd be like, listen, just live y'all lives. Normally, I would say, see, the thing is, the typical thing, the thing would be like effort, but I'm not gonna do that. The reason why is because I'm not gonna do that. I'm better than that. So yeah.
You know what though? My advice would be like you said, like being the best representation of yourself, but you got to also have a self awareness. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
And then with that self awareness, you got to understand how you're making decisions in life. There's 6 ways you're going to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? That's for you to reflect upon that. But how you make that decision is going to be based on, was it informed or was it uninformed? Were you intentional? Were you unintentional? Were you instinctive? Were you impulsive? You know what I'm saying? Like those are the ways you end up looking at yourself and saying, damn, I wasn't making an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, Wally, like if I knew more at a better, like if I knew it earlier, you know what I'm saying, that'd be best for me because I can make better decisions early in the game. That's the fortunate thing about growing up and learning. You live and you learn. So you're not going to know it all out the gate. That's the whole point of living. So learn, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, like for me, I have to evaluate myself, even when it comes to finances. And like, damn, I spent this much money on this. Damn, I should have just like did this instead. Or it's like, why did I do that? Because again, I wasn't in control of myself. I just allowed my impulsive nature to take over. Like I allowed these little wants to come in. Like, oh, I kind of wanted it, but did you need it? No, I didn't really need it. See, now you're just gonna have fun with it for a little bit. You know it's gonna sit in the corner somewhere. You're not gonna do nothing with it, right? That's money I could spend doing this and investing in this or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all, you know what I'm saying? I don't really like judge myself in that way. I just learned to understand why I'm in the situation I'm in. It's like if I want to do better, then do better. You know what I'm saying? Because now that you're aware, at least you should have some self-awareness to correct yourself if you need to. Some people have no awareness, have no clue, and they just look like the world's their problems.
Is what they believe, and
Yeah.
that kind of gives them a false mentality of hood to make them think that they're not worth anything. But also, that's kind of like, well, it's like whatever. So I mean, I guess it's like, well, I guess as long as I'm living, it's okay, right? I'm like, to an extent, yeah. But if you're living unhappily, then you're doing something wrong. to not better put yourself in a position. It took me maybe like having how long ago to learn that lesson, which is when I was 25, to really get that. Like, yeah, having working experience is great, but bro, I'm not doing what I want to do, so I need to get back to doing that. And the thing is, when you stray away from what you're trying to do, if there is something that does pull you back to it, you're lucky to even have that, because otherwise you would not accomplish what you set out to accomplish, but also not be satisfied. And the thing is, like I said, I would say this: if I set out everything I set out to do, that's done. But there's another journey that I have to take after that. That's with the significant other that I have. That's another journey. Like, all right, you did what you set out to do for that. You're set. You got the financial thing down. You've got some sense of responsibility. You know how to handle your money better, but also you know how to now your biggest task is you having to study on your journey next, and then after that is another journey which you both of you take care of those kids that you both made into the world. That's a freaking almost a life journey. So like I said, to me, there's a song called "The Homework Never Ends," and it never ever really ends until you're actually in the passed on to the next life, in a sense like that. Guys, I'm gonna be very very raw and say in the dirt, but I'm not gonna do that. That's just rude and maybe evil, and maybe I seem insensitive when I say that shit. But when you pass on the next world, like that's another journey you'll have to take. That's hopefully the lady you laid down with, you had kids with, y'all both meet each other there. It's another journey. It's like I said. So like I said, really the journey don't end for you, but also your hard work, I would say your endeavors, all your trials, like I said, they lead to certain things. It's just what do you want them to lead you to? I guess that's a deep philosophical question. I don't know if I would ever answer that, but where is it leading to? I would say. But I know Wally. I think Wally knows where he wants to end up because we got plenty of talks about this where he wants to end up.
Look, I want to end up this simple, bro. Very simple. I end up wherever life takes me.
Exactly, and it's just like sometimes I do say I'm here for the ride sometimes, but guys, I'm here with the ride with a purpose to do something. Okay, don't think that I'm just with the flow. No, I'm not. Like that's on a day off. I'm with the flow, but when I'm back to work, I'm building stuff up. I'm doing things. More things than I would like, but I'm still doing things. And like I said, it makes me intelligent and helps me sleep better at night. That's for damn sure. Because at least I got the job done, and I'm a big proprietor of like at least I got the fucking job done. But yeah,
good. You know what though? You know what? That's all I was saying. We could talk about a whole lot of things. This branches off to a whole lot of things now. I'm thinking in my head. So the one thing I would say when it comes to people who want to be established or want to chase after something in life, they usually run into problems of doubts. Like I told my one of my homeboys, Jay Prince, I said, yo, like the problem is like I can have you guys create the perfect world or the perfect relationship, or everything you think is just perfect, right? You can have that perfect world or that perfect relationship, but the one thing that's going to always foul it up, which is why this thing we call life has its ups and downs, is just it takes one misunderstanding, one doubt, one confusion, one mistrust. You know what I'm saying? It only takes one time for that to ripple out and mess the whole thing you created perfectly up. Seriously. Yeah. Doubt, like you can have the perfect relationship, right? You can be like, oh, my girl's faithful, she's loyal. And then one day, your boy comes to you and he says, yo, I saw your girl with so-and-so or some dude. I don't know who he was, but it was just coming out the dinner place, at a restaurant or something like that, right? So then you give your girl a call and she's not picking up. You're like, what the fuck? So now what got created was doubt. Because now you don't know what's going on. And this is the emotional aspect of you. Princess K was hitting on this earlier, and that's actually a good thing. She says, we got one with stuff sounds easy, but you'd be surprised the number of people who do that stuff through emotion rather than logic. So there's nothing really wrong with what I look at as two perspectives. Yeah. There's two perspectives. There's a rational perspective and there's an emotional perspective. Neither one is better. Honestly, neither one is actually bad on their own, but they both have their weaknesses. So a person who's rational, their issue is they're going to be more likely to be narrow-minded. They end up being full of themselves. It's a possibility that you can be this way if you don't have discipline of yourself, you don't know yourself. you're gonna end up falling short because you'll be narrow minded. You'll end up being like I know it all type shit. The
Yeah.
person who's the person and arrogance as well. The person who's emotional, their biggest kryptonite is assumptions. They end up dealing with many thoughts and many questions, and they don't answer. They end up answering their own questions or assuming their own answers to the questions they have because they're taking a lot of information and become overwhelmed. And with all that overwhelming, they can't contain it, and they end up just going with a feeling they have, and they end up assuming things. So right now, in that example I gave you, I'm assuming, damn, what the hell could she like? But who's the guy? And I'm going through all these questions, and all it's doing is build up my anxiety. All my doubts is building up, and it's like I just got to be still, and be patient. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta have control over how I feel. I can't let my emotions dictate my movement. Emotions, are, for me, are good for energy. Emotions is good to fuel me to go one way or another, but I still gotta have that discernment to control where that energy is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I would never tell you to be emotionless. No, you need that to it makes you human. You know what I'm saying? It gives you
Right.
that purpose,
Thank you.
that drive. So
Exactly.
it's like, but you gotta have that discernment to keep it under control. You know what I'm saying? That's someone who's emotional. You gotta know yourself and know how to react appropriately, so you don't end up making basically an uninformed decision because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, like people, if you were more self-aware, you gotta know how you move and why you make decisions you made. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's not easy. But if you know yourself, you're self-aware. That's the start. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? Just become more self-aware, knowing yourself.
Definitely, brother. I agree with everything you're saying. Brother Von Erich, thanks for being here, brother. I'm sorry you've been muted for most of the conversation. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How everybody else doing?
All
Oh,
right.
doing well. Excellent.
That's good. Man, y'all spitting some fire today, man. Y'all spitting some knowledge, man. It's good to come
Yeah,
up and hear this today.
thank you, sir.
But I wanted to ask a question. Y'all, I see that all of y'all in animation and things like that. I was wondering, why don't y'all come up with an animation series, but doing it in an educational, you could or anyway, because y'all spent some good education. Is it any way y'all can do it and come up with the animation and do it and come up? Because reason why I'm asking, because y'all know that the woman Lola on Knowledge and Relations, she does
Yeah.
Mhm.
animation drawings. She also had 4 animation books that she wrote for kids. So that's why I was like, y'all spit some good knowledge and wisdom every time I listen to y'all. I was wondering if there's any way y'all maybe can get together, come up and put it in the animation and teach young people or kids.
Um, I'm gonna answer them from my end first, and I'm gonna let the cats go next. For me, I do plan on doing one at one point. Because I think it was my dream. It's been one of the little things I wanted to do. Similar to my brother who wants to make a video game. I do want to do particular type of animation of my own through the characters that me and my boys make together. And because I'll be honest, I think every cat here who likes superheroes has seen Static Shock, and Static Shock had a lot of good information and a lot of real world things from our perspective that we could relate to. And I still watch that to this day. Like the old
Hell yeah.
episodes, like learning from things. There's a lot of things you could take with that our people could take. Hence why I think one of the reasons why we didn't grow to be so effed up is because we did have a black superhero of our own. We had Static Shock,
Right.
teenager black boy trying to not be involved in gang war and things like that. Mom was killed by gang fire, things like that. Like, dude, there's a lot of things that we can relate to on top of that stuff. But making our own animation, I think I'm gonna say this. It's not the biggest thing, but it is one of the things I would definitely want to do, and I would be willing to get together with some cats that be willing to do it. But the thing is, like I said, what comes in that? I mean, like the thing is, like I said, we're going to be doing voice acting, and we're going to be doing things like that. If we're going to that, like I said, it takes time, effort, and work. And I actually know cats who do have to spend time to practice those things. I actually know a group of cats that did do this, and they did do it. It took a lot out of them, but they still did it. It turned out the final product was actually pretty good as
Yeah,
opposed to
because
the rough draft.
right. Because y'all, because just like Wiley, he's coming from, he likes to teach economic and things like that. Y'all could do so much with that, especially with kids at an young age, and get them into the pre-economics and show them and teach them things that y'all experienced and didn't. Y'all went down a certain path. Y'all can teach that to young kids and either kids that's getting into an adults. Y'all have so much knowledge that y'all can give, and some people may learn in an animation standpoint. Then, you know, what we even like we here talking, y'all can still use those animation characters to teach people. You know, we sitting here, but y'all just use our animation characters, right? To y'all voices and things like that. You know, some kids pick things up better like that, and some kids may, you know, everybody learn differently. But I just think that'd be a good, you know, like I said, Lola, she written 2 kids books, no 3, I think. She's on her 4th one. But yet she draws animation. I forgot the device that she used. She went to school and everything. So,
and actually, I do want to touch on something, guys. There was so there. This is I'm pretty sure this is an all black project I did when I watched it because it's on Netflix now and it came out 4 weeks. When I did that, I think it was like 3 to 4 weeks ago, and it's called Intergalactic, and it spoke to a lot of. First of all, rated R #1. I'll just say that out there right now because I prefer mature projects any day of the week because I prefer more mature stories because I'm tired of high school shit. But I'm sorry. Now I'm at that point now. Like F this, bro. I need like mature stories. Give me some Doom shit. Give me some Reddit. Give me some of that. I prefer that. But it's a Netflix movie, and I'm pretty sure it's black owned created when I first saw it. It's called Intergalactic. And how they did it reminded me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse, that type of animation they used for black characters and things like that. It looked really, really good. As the main character, the characters were black. You had different ethnicities in there, but majority it was a black brother who was an artist. The brother, like I said, the brother be on the blunt every now and then, but the motherfucker knows how to draw, and He created this artistic character, and it was on billboards, and it got licensed to be a book, but also be advertised and on freaking products and things like that. And the motherfucker knows craft. But also on the other end, there's this girl that he likes who's artistic. She's an artist. She's a photographer. She's a sister. She takes photography of different things, and how they have that abstract art when it comes to taking photos of stuff. Like that's what she's good at. And shit was actually that. I'll be honest. Despite despite some of the stuff like the themes they had in there that were really good, they spoke about a lot of stuff in real life, how dating is over there and shit. I was just like, this shit is spot on right now. And the characters are black. I was like, this is good right now. Funny too, by the way. Some funny scenes, some funny sexual jokes in there too, in that series. But when I saw that, I was like, I gotta do a review of this motherfucker. This shit is criminally underrated right here, and it ended good. It ended on some bullshit. I was like, this actually ended good. Like I said, no superpower stuff, just regular stuff, everyday things that we would do. Was appealing to my goddamn eyesight. I walked away with a lot of messages, a lot of real world things, and and actually some shit in my past in that damn shit. And I was like, yeah, I related to that. Yeah. So it's like animation stuff like that. I would definitely like to be part of a team that did some shit like that personally, because that'd be an accomplishment in my life that I've done. And I would say if I am going to do it, I do want it to speak to some cats that look like us, because I think it's best not just to have the simple thing we've always done. Like I said, we're in the position of power where we can make stuff like Static Shock now. We can do it. And whether Boondocks, that's another black creation we made, y'all. Like, let's be real, that's one of the best creations made by a black person for me. And I'm just glad we made that shit and it's successful, and it's funny, and we go back to it every time. We need some good comedy, a good laugh. Like, bro, we watch Boondocks. Hella exaggerated, but funny as hell, right? So I think when you do that, it's gonna take blood, sweat, and tears, a love for it, and also set out to do it with a purpose. That's the thing. You can't half-ass it. You gotta go all in on that. But also, like I would always say, have a rough draft of what you want. Converse with other cats, you get a team together, and then get, like I said, you get the artists. If you want music in there, get the music, get the voice actors, and how long are you planning on making it? Me, I would depend on. I kind of wanted to be a one and done thing, but I guess because everybody gets dragged into making more. I would say maybe 2 seasons, and that'd be the end of it. If the first one does well, we'll do a second season. After that, we'll plan an ending for it. That's what we'll do. I don't want to. Nobody wants to drag down series because that's how that shit falls off. So I'd rather just have it a 1 and 2, and then I think that'd be good enough. And I think I would have after the episode what they used to do back in the olden days. I used to watch a lot of Sonic Adventures and a lot of series that would have like things that tell you what to do, tell kids, what to do, what not to do, things like that. And that's what Static did too. Like talked about gun control, things, all that stuff. So I like to have things like that. But yeah, man. I mean, I think I'm down for doing it. And Marvelous, I'd like for you to go. I spoke in like for almost 5 hours. So go, bro.
No, it's not that. You good. I was agreeing with you because I was like, yeah, I remember that because Static Shock did end with stuff like that. Like back in the day, like cartoons, I swear they were more like they weren't so overhand with adult themes. Like you go back to watch some cartoons back in the day, there were some adult themes to it. As a child, you didn't really pick up on that. Kid. Yeah, but then also at the very end, they give you that lesson too. That's more on the nose and spot on. So it's like just so if you didn't catch it, because you're just having fun watching the show. Here's the end of the lesson. And so like this is the lesson that was actually told. They re-emphasized what it is if it was a serious type of series. You know what I mean? I remember that.
Yeah, but it was quite the amazing thing to be looked at when you were younger. Because I'm like, yo, that guy, that kid looks like me. I'm black, so I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, hell yeah, I love that, bro. Having electrical powers, being cool, flying on a fucking electric disc, bro. Having his braids and cornrows and shit, like, bro, that's awesome. Like, we love that. That's us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Cartoons, like, I used to take, like, I don't know why we do that, but it's so true. Like, even, like, on Sonic, I used to look at Knuckles like he was a black dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, even
Everybody
though...
says that. Everybody says that. He black. No, he black.
Right.
We end up
he
taking
Albert now, so he definitely black.
Right, Piccolo, yeah. Piccolo.
We took Skeeter from Doug, you know what I'm saying?
Skeeter was black, but he's blue. that's how I rationalize it in my head. Like, he's black. Like, Gerald from Hey Arnold, he's actually black with a big-ass afro.
Right,
I'm like, black. So, yeah.
It's like because it's adopting that character.
There's a lot of stuff they had in like those old cartoons. Like even Hey Arnold had a lot of touch up on everything there. Too. That's another one, like about racism, about freaking different people, different ethnicity. What it was like to deal with strangers, trying to having a kid trying to live on his own and shit like bro, it had a lot of stuff.
So Hey Arnold was very heavy
because they were just more. They had more lessons in them, and I think now that I'm older, I just appreciate them more now. Like, listen, when you're young, we just kept on seeing the cartoons beating the shit each other on the freaking train. That's the only thing we give a fuck about. When we got older, I'm like, damn, I missed all this.
It passes right through. It's like, oh wow, wait a minute, it'll show me everything.
Yeah, exactly. I missed all this.
Yo, I'll give you an example of that with Hey Arnold, right? So the girl Helga, right? I never knew her dad was abusive and that her mom was an alcoholic and her sister was suffering from depression. Like, that shit went completely over my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
All I remember when I was a kid is that she got a bad grade and she threw herself in depression. But I think
because you were this perfect essence of.
She has to be perfect because he's the perfect one in the family, and also her younger sister is jealous because she's not like her. And it's jealousy as fuck. And I'm like, and I realized, like I didn't have that with my brothers. I wasn't jealous. I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever. If I'm gonna be real, I don't think I've ever been jealous in my life of just of somebody else. Maybe if you having that system over me, not you, it's your system. I'm jealous, motherfucker. You had that shit before me. That's what that is. But like as a person, like you, like no, I'm not jealous. Right. I always thought I was better than most motherfuckers. But and don't worry, Rally slapped me on the table and made me realize I ain't the best of the best. At the time, I had to work for that. which I did work for it. But like I said, some of the shows like I said, straight A student, she goes AWOL whenever she don't get a perfect. She goes in, like she got a B- and she went crazy. I'm like, girl, come on, ain't that real? God damn.
Yeah, that was Phoebe. Yeah, that was Phoebe, the Asian chick. And it pretty much was hitting that stereotype about how Asians have to be perfect and shit. And it was
I love my
crazy,
Asian
bro.
audience, by the way. I love
Bro,
it.
it never fails, bro. It never fails.
Oh my god, yo, I got.
That's why I like. That's why I
I gotta go through all your chats right now. Hold on.
But this is why I like TV shows, because they really lock into what's happening in the everyday. Like they really gonna tell you what happens in the everyday. You may say stereotypes, but reality, this is what happens out here.
This is what happens out here. Yeah. Oh man, your Princess Cam, we'll go through all your chats and then we'll continue the conversation. You got a lot of stuff. This is why meditation is important. I do meditate. I think Marvelous meditates, and I think Awali does, and Von Erich does.
Of course,
So
with music.
Yeah. Yeah, you do it with music. I do it with or without music, depending on, because I kind of need to give my ears a break. And what they say about people who make assumptions, well, sweetheart, I got one for that too. I told my friend, listen, don't make assumptions, because when you make assumptions, you look at ass in the Uncle John. So don't make assumptions. I tell that to anybody. I don't care if they rich, whatever. Don't make assumptions, motherfucker. and it's like, and listen, and I told my friend, he said, well, I'm making the assumption. Like, no, don't make an assumption, my man. Don't do it. Cause I said, if you're gonna say that shit, have an arsenal behind you. Have some ammo for your arsenal. Don't just say that shit and think that nobody gonna say nothing. Because I will, not me particularly, but somebody will call you out on it. So don't just make the assumption about something. If you need clarification on something, just ask somebody. I would say, don't get out your goddamn pride. Get your legs out your ass and ask. Simple enough. It's that simple. To me, it didn't take me 5 years to do that. I had a military dad, so that shit was never an issue because I would always ask. She says, and then also she says, have a balance. I say, I'm like, yeah, I think you do need a balance from time to time. Spend time with yourself, talk to yourself. You're not crazy if you do it. I've done that. Princess K, surprisingly enough, I've had not burnouts, but I've done that. There's only a problem when you start talking back. What, like to imaginary friends?
It's the perfect code of me, myself, and I.
Yeah, me and myself and I. I mean, if I'm thinking out loud about something, and you know, my cats have caught me doing that. Like when I'm thinking about a problem, and I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not talking to myself, but I'm just talking out loud, and I shouldn't be doing that sometimes. But at the same time, I'd rather get the idea out as opposed to keep it in my head, because sometimes it just be like bro, like if it's something that's if something's so overwhelming, annoying that I can't ignore it, then I start thinking. I won't initially start, but if it gets to the point where I can't like self-exploit that thing, then it's like I'll start thinking. I mean, that's just kind of like a little.
Do you talk to yourself? Because see, I talk to myself by myself because it's nobody else's business. Now, when I talk,
that's fair. You can be praying.
Yeah. What? Man, look, man.
I mean,
better than anything else.
Right. So, I mean, if I'm talking to I'm sure not gonna call myself crazy.
No.
But
dude, listen.
I understand if someone say that.
I'm gonna say you're only crazy as if you're. Listen, I'll say this. I shouldn't say you're crazy. Okay, so if your girl's in the room with you in the other corner, no. If she walks in the door and you're like on the other side of the corner and you have something that you might be speaking to, not in your phone or whatever, then that might be a cause for concern. Because your lady would think you probably like you on something at this point. Like, yeah, baby, okay, or should I leave you alone to yourself?
Oh, if you're talking to your phone.
No, he's not. To me, that's some solitary confinement shit. When I hear that,
but
that's the example I gave you, similar to just like you just lean against the wall talking to yourself, and I'm just like, leave him alone, let him finish what he got to do. So
I would just blame it on Series. I'm talking. she didn't respond to me back.
Oh man.
You know what though? I'll just say I usually talk to myself though often for content creation purposes. So sometimes if I go through a dialogue in my head, I'm basically playing out a conversation in the sense of how it may or may not go down. To pretty much prepare myself for like even last night because I told you guys the other I had a podcast that I was gonna get on. I was in the bathroom. My wife heard me muttering. She's like, "What you muttering to?" I said, "I'm just getting my mind right for tomorrow. I'm gonna be on the podcast tomorrow morning, so I'm just getting my thoughts together about the topic." So usually, if I say it out loud, I can make the conversation more real, at least in how I simulate how it may go down. Now, things may not be said, but at least I'm in the right mindset when I go to the podcast. I know what to talk about. So that's the reason why I usually end up talking to myself to get myself in order, even check the way I talk. So I don't want to be like I'm stuttering. I don't see like I know what I'm saying. Like I listen to myself, listen to yourself speak, just so I can know I have clarity when I talk to people and they can receive me as well. That kind of thing. So
Yep.
that's all I
Yeah,
do.
I've done that
No,
too.
yeah, I did that same thing. I did the
Yeah,
same thing.
I think
I always
I
try to
think
make the scenarios go down in my head. How people
right,
will
that's
react, everything like that. You know, how you can combat it, all that stuff.
Even when I've delivered, I've done that to myself. Like there was a point I wanted to get out, but also how I wanted to phrase it and convey it to the audience. It was something I wanted to make sure that I could deliver it without it being convoluted or I guess like crickety. So I mean, I would practice like key phrases like that, like even with a script. So definitely there are things that you do to speak out loud. And honestly, I've always said if you do talk, that's when you talk to yourself. If you do talk aloud, it may seem like you're talking to yourself, but you could be praying too. Many people do that. No, I've always just because, like I said, I'm a former Christian and all. I do know people who do pray aloud, not really really loud, but like pray out loud where you can hear them. Like simple mid-level tone to where you can hear them, but they're just really praying to the Lord and talking to Him and things like that. Like that. That's where I like shut talking down to yourself when I said I'm like these are talking to the God, so leave him alone. He's not really
well,
doing
talking
anything
to
weird.
they call it talking to the spirit. Talking to
Yeah, talking to the spirit, but it's not seen as talking to yourself.
right, talking to yourself.
That's how I see it. It's not seen as talking to yourself. You're talking to the Lord. So
Right.
like, okay, I get it. Right.
But I guess it when you do talk to yourself by you knowing what you're doing, like Opinion said, he was saying he practiced, he's listening to himself, he's going over words repetitiously to understand what he's about to get into when he said he was going to be doing the podcast, which is understandable. I think it would be crazy when you're talking and then something react and you don't know it. It just I think like what they call it, not schizophrenia, what they call it, people that have different personalities or something. What they call that?
Different personalities.
Split personalities.
Yeah, that's
What is that? Dissociative identity disorder.
right. So you're talking, but you're not knowing what's going on inside of you. So I think that's when it comes to people would identify that you have a problem.
Yeah, like
But
a
by
mental
you-
illness. Yeah.
Yeah, but by you
Yep.
knowing and you listening to your words and knowing and going over your words, that wouldn't be looked at as a problem or
No, yeah, it wouldn't. You'd just be a person that
Right.
that would talk to God and maybe yourself every now and then.
Exactly.
When everything is weird. I used to always I used to always get shit for that when I was really really young. Like you're talking to yourself and shit. Like let me talk to myself then.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't talking to me. So
But I'm not-
no. I actually got a mouth when I said it to an adult. I said like you ain't talking to me.
Right.
So let me talk to myself. I do vaguely remember saying that when I was very young, and I realized how crazy and wild that is. But I didn't get whooped for it. But they looked at me crazy because I said that, and I was like, and I said, "You ain't talking to me." So let me talk to myself. I remember saying that, and I realized I'm like, God damn, my sister's stupid shit. I felt stupid. As I got older, I realized like, dude, that's so stupid, Jay. What you just did, like, oh man, if I go back in time, I would I would grab my little version of me, and I would grab him by the mouth and shut him up. Like, do not say that, dude. You sound crazy. Well, at least the perception of black families be like, yo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just need Jesus, and I'm just like, no.
Oh, that see right there. Right there. See, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that.
No. That's what your parents would say.
Right.
Right. because
But,
they don't. It's funny. Like if you sit down, you play video games, and a video game you playing against yourself, you switch chairs. That won't look like you're crazy. But if you sit down and talk to yourself, they say that's crazy. But if you play yourself in chess, like say you playing chess and you just switch over to the other side, you say, "Well, I'm playing against myself." That's not looked at as crazy. But if you talking to yourself,
right, see,
right? Ain't that something? That is.
Oh my god!
No, it's no problem if you're playing with yourself.
Right, no problem.
Okay, go ahead. It's strategy, right?
Right,
It's strategy. But when you talk to yourself, oh no, that's just weird. That's out of pocket.
Yeah, that's just
talking to.
Yeah.
I can definitely concur with that. Same thing with you saying playing games the same way.
Right.
Primo just said it. From what I've seen, most people talking to themselves usually thinking out. That's what I've said. They're just probably thinking out loud. I don't look at it like.
I mean, look, think about it. Lawyers even do the same thing.
Yeah, they got to practice
that preparation.
Their case, so they gotta have to speak out loud. Like, when you gonna speak in their head and shit, like no. Because because eventually, I'll say this: the reason why they ain't gonna do it in their head like that, eventually, it's like I can't just keep practicing this shit in my head. Like, bro, I need to practice it. Like, to me, it's like when you're in a play and shit like that. You have to practice your lines, or you're acting, or if you're acting in a movie, one motherfuckers gotta speak out loud in their own trailers. You gonna tell me they talking to themselves like they crazy? No.
You know what? That's perfect.
Either is gonna say they talking to themselves or they crazy.
Yeah, but I think the only reason why they won't say nothing about that is because simply they know that they have something in their freaking hands, and they're literally looking at it as they're saying something.
Well, yeah, but they probably look at the paper and then they actually gonna act it out and then do that. And the same thing with voice recording, they got things on, so we know they ain't talking to themselves, but there's nobody around them. It's just at the microphone. So, but at the same time, they're letting out the lines and things. So it's not really talking to yourself. It's really, well, you're in the booth by yourself, but you got other cats on the other side of that wall that are just recording you. You just practice the voice, and you're just you're just conveying the words. And that's how I see that. Like we gotta make a distinction with some of this stuff. Them motherfuckers is not talking to themselves. They're not.
Hey Jack, here you go. Here's a perfect example of what you're talking about. So, like, if there's something you ever want to remember, right? Let's say, like, you want to remember a particular number or a code or something like that. Usually, if you say it out loud, it becomes easy to remember. Why is that? Because you're taking it two different ways. Like, you said, your thoughts in your mind, right? But you think about it, when you have thoughts in your mind, can you actually hear those thoughts? Or are you actually just simulating it? Because where's those thoughts? When you think about sound, sound needs vibration. So how are you hearing something? You're not really hearing it per se. It's not until you actually profess it off your tongue, then you got the vibration, and then your mind's locked on like, oh, that's what it is. So that's why you say things aloud. It's just for you to have a better understanding. That's all it is.
Right, because like even in the sense of like taking it from a point of you learning your mathematics, right? And the teacher calls on you, oh, what's 10 times 10? You say 100 because you already did it multiple times, training yourself consistently. Knowing this number, you always got to train this problematic situation. So you always got to train it. And, even in another sense for me, because I do some writing. I actually can do some musical writing, right? And, a lot of times I can think of it in my head, but at the most times I usually would like to say it because usually saying it's more of a training of the mind, of the brain. Because, every time you say something, you say a verse, and especially if you constantly repeat it, you're going to keep on remembering that verse. So you always got to train it to that verse.
Say the first part, marvelous.
That's how I got homeschooled.
Marvelous. Say the first part of what you said before, when you said it comes to the brain. Say that again.
Oh yeah, I was saying like basically like you use sound to hear things. Like right now, you guys can hear me through the vibration. That's how you hear things. Literally vibration. If it just stays in your head and you don't profess these things, it won't be as solid. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're bringing it to life when you actually say it through your tongue. And now your mind actually knows. It was one thing of hearing it in your head, but it's like, how do you actually hear without sound? So in order to really hear it and fully understand what it is, you say it out aloud so you have a better understanding.
I got you. Okay.
Right. But in a lot of ways, the brain is like a recorder, and it's recording.
It is. It constantly processes information, and the neurological like microfiber of your brain really likes
Right,
to
because every single
hold
time
enough
we got
information,
studied,
process it, and then some things, whatever you can retain, you retain. And
right,
and I know if there's any damage to the brain more often than not, or to the head more often, it's harder to reciprocate information and relay it because it's damaged. So it's like you're gonna get so much, and it's gonna be like a kind of like a block in that. Hence why I always tell people like always be careful what you run your head into and things like that because you might not retain the same or regurgitate or recollect the same information you had once before prior to your injury. So that's why I said it's always careful, what you hit your head on sometimes. So but guys, but I would say this, but guys, talk aloud, do what you got to do. I don't give a fuck anymore. Everybody's an adult. If you want, listen. I don't want to call it time to yourself. Listen, if you want, let that person do what they want to do. They want to convey their voices through practice or their thoughts out loud. Let them. I don't call it talking to yourself anymore. I just call it conveying thoughts aloud. That's really what it is.
right.
Hey Jay, hold on. I'm gonna drop something even bigger for you guys as an example. Right, when it comes to your dreams, right? Sometimes people don't remember their dreams, but the moment they actually speak of the dreams, then they remember, and it stays in their mind. That's why I'm saying it's more important that if you have certain thoughts, if you say it out loud, it'll stay in tune. It'll be because you're taking it. Like I said, it's like you hearing it physically does something to the brain. It stimulates it in a way. Like you have thoughts. You have tons and millions of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But memories are different in a way and how they affect your mind. So you can remember things on how you hear it more so than what you thought about it. So even when you dream your dream, whatever, right? You're like, damn, I don't want to forget this dream. Just say it. You try to go through your mind, okay? Like me, when I have dreams,
sometimes. Yeah.
So you said sometimes you may have to recite it on the outside and bring it back on the inside.
Yes, exactly.
And sometimes it's hard to regurgitate those steps again because I told my friend many times there was this one dream I had and it was it's like I remember the middle and the last part. I don't remember the beginning of that shit. But all I know was like the middle and the ending were amazing. What I don't remember is the beginning. And that's why I said, holy shit, I can't even begin. So I don't, like I said, because it seems like there's fragments missing in that. Right. And for me, I always like to remember everything. That's why because like I said, I really do have dreams, and whenever I do, it's like something like grand, or it's like it's weird. Oh, okay, so it's like this. It's like one of those miscellaneous movies where it's like you're missing a part out of the damn movie, and it's like I got the beginning and middle, but I don't know what happened in the end. But really, do I ever have that? It's like here's the middle, then here's the end. I don't know what led up to all of that.
Right.
So it's kind of like you're missing parts or gaps in your memory whenever that happens, and it's just like I can't remember half the time. And it's like I want to remember, but I'm just like because it was rather interesting. Because to me, it's just like reruns on like we're giving you different. It happens in different contexts, like what you're going through in your dream, and it's like you'll figure out you're in there, but it'll seem so real to you, to where when you wake up, it's like damn, I can't not read. Let's say I can't write in my dream. I'm like okay, I know I'm dreaming, so like how does this in or what happens afterwards? And I think by the time when I become cognizant that it is a dream, that's when I wake the hell up. Which sucks. There's one dream I wish I never woke up from personally, and I was so mad to this day. I was like, "Oh, you mother!" I said, "You mother!" I was like, "Bro, I was actually getting no. Let's just say something you wanted to happen, but didn't happen." But it happened in this, which would have been awesome had I not woken up. And I told my friend, I was like, bro, I got my clock and I got my head and I put it towards my head. I tried to knock myself out to go back to sleep. This was when I was really, really young. Like I was like football player dumb mentality. I was just trying to knock my ass out. And I'm like, please please just give me freaking 30 more minutes, bro. That's all I need. Just give me, dude, be 15. Be 15. I just want to go back to that fucking dream because you interrupted it on something very crucial, and I was pissed that you did that. I was like, I didn't even have to go to school that day.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, bitch. I was like, bitch. I woke up. I was like, bitch, fuck you, man. I was trying to. It was just getting good, and then you fucked it up for me.
I know that feeling oh too well, bro. I know that feeling oh too well, bro. But you know what though?
And listen, I tell you what. I may have grown up now, but to this day, I still want to complete that fucking dream. It ain't done.
Oh man,
it's still not done.
Wow.
Man, how you doing, brother Vaughn? I'm sorry, I went on a tangent, but that's
no, man. It's all good, brother. Yeah, it's all good. I just wanted to hop on, man, just to say, congratulate you on your 200 subscribers, man. You deserve it. I appreciate your content. I think you're up and coming, definitely an up and coming content creator. And, I just want to be here to continue to support you. God bless everybody on the panel, Brother Wally, Brother Von Eric, Brother Marvelous. It's good to be up here with you, brothers. I know you're talking about dreams, and I listen, I've had that experience many times where, I was cut off. I was cut off mid-dream, and, you wake up and you're like, man, so you mean I'm still here? You mean I really didn't? I really didn't win the money. I really didn't win the money. I really don't have this house. I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm about to drive a Ferrari for the first time, man.
I've definitely been there, gentlemen. Definitely been there. But I just wanted to congratulate you. I can't be up long, but continue to do what you're doing, my brother. Continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. Like, listen, if there's anything you want to ask or share, like a dream is similar to whatever you want to share, bro, please be you're welcome to, man. I already shared one of mine just now, so I got no shame personally. All I care about is, bro, to this day, if I do get the chance, please let me go back to that dream.
Well, sometimes you wake up out of a dream and you're glad that you weren't in that situation.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
And
sometimes you wake up and take a deep breath and say, God, thank you. Because sometimes the dream is so vivid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had those situations. I can't per se like give details of each one because I don't remember them all the time. Sure. But definitely, yeah, man. I woke up.
You ever had a dream? Anybody ever had a dream and was trying to wake up and couldn't? Was hard for them to wake up and
I never had that.
You couldn't move for a couple seconds.
Oh, you talking about that paralyzed sleep?
Where you can't open up your eyes.
That's like
sleep paralysis. Yeah, sleep paralysis.
But I've definitely had the one where you're falling. I've definitely had that one.
I had that one.
Oh, the dream.
I've had that one like many times. Like, you're falling and you wake right up right before you figure out what's about to happen.
That didn't happen to me. I'll tell you right now, man. I had a dream. I was gonna say I had a dream one time. I had a few dreams I could tell about. So one dream I had, I was like a teenager. I was like 14, and this is before the movie even existed. I had a dream about Freddy versus Jason before the movie even existed. So this is what happened, right? So I went to the mall, it's my parents or whatever, and I got lost in the mall, and the mall started closing down early. It was like 7 o'clock, and I was like, damn, it's 7 p.m. The mall's already closed. And before you know it, I look around, the mall's empty, and the lights turn off and stuff. I'm like, damn. So then these 3 gothic chicks break into the mall, and I guess they're going to rob the place or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, how they came in, that's how I'm getting out. So I went out the way they came in, and then before you know it, I go to the parking lot. Parking lot's empty, it's dark, it's all foggy and shit, all mystifying shit. I start walking through the fog, getting out the parking lot, and before you know, I'm walking on the grass into the woods, and before you know, I'm in the cemetery. I'm just like, really? This is how? Yes, I'm in the cemetery now. Really? I was like, damn, I like being here. So then I hear like this person shoveling, and I'm like curious, like, what the hell is that? And then I get closer because it's so foggy, you can barely see this shit. And I can only see the lantern, the lamp he had. And then I get close enough, I realize that there's a machete on the ground. And I was like, yo. I was like, yo, what is this? And then I see it like
nightmare, boy.
And then I see the tombstone that says here lies Jason Voorhees, and I was like, oh shit. And then like I hear like a laughter in the background. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And then like he said, I'm right here. And I said, oh shit. I turned around and it was Freddy. And dude just like, he had his nails or long claws or whatever, right? He just came out and scratched me across my chest.
Butter knives.
And yeah, my man just hit a Wolverine on my chest, and I was just like, motherfucker. And I got pissed. Like, I didn't, like, my fight or flight kicked in. I wanted to fight dude. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah, of course.
pissed. So he starts doing
Wow.
backflips and shit, and he's laughing at me doing backflips going into the fog, and I'm like chasing after him. Like, if you can remember the scene off of Men in Black, the first one, where Will Smith was chasing the alien dude through the city or whatever,
Yeah.
I basically went through that same exact scenario to the T. We get to the top of the motherfucking building, right? And I'm like, where are you? Show yourself, right? This motherfucker, again, gets behind me and says, I'm right here. And he pushes me off the edge of the building. I end up falling, right? Now, I fell all the way down to the bottom, right? This is like at least, 20 floors up, whatever. I fell down to a pile of mulch. Like, that's all I can say. It was just mulch, wood chippings. And I remember, like, when I fell, I was like, fuck. I stood up, and I just wiped off the stuff off my chest and my face, and I looked up, and I just woke up. I was like, oh, shit. But that was the first time I actually conquered one of my dreams. I knew I was dreaming, but I was in full control of it. That was the first time I ever conquered dreaming. That's the reason why I can remember it so vividly, because it was just like, yo, I actually conquered that bitch. I had no more nightmares after that, bro.
Yo, yeah, it's so crazy.
Wow.
That's why I don't watch scary movies.
Boy,
Listen, I still watch scary movies, though. I still watch
don't
scary
rock
movies.
with those.
Yeah.
I don't rock with those.
I love all the thrillers, so you know.
Oh, I can't call me what you want. You could call me a punk. You could call me soft.
too many times in my dream.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's for me. And this motherfucker, I think since I conquered it, he was the person that was killing for me, and I was just like, yo, shit, this is crazy. He like my best friend and shit. I was like, okay, bro, I said, yo, Jay, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Wow.
I took a
and
couple.
I thought either you're a psychopath, dude, or you just crazy.
I took
when
a
I had that
couple.
dream. You went crazy.
I took a couple girls, about 3 or 4 of them, to a scary movie, and they didn't mess with me no more because I was holding on to them.
Oh wow!
I was
Wow!
At the scary movie, they would not mess with me no more.
Wow!
Drop the drink on one of them. Because I scared.
Wait, you dropped the drink on one of them?
Yeah, drop the drink on one.
Well, I imagine there was a slap that day.
But I told him I don't like scary movies. Nah, you can do it. This would happen.
Sweetheart, we could have listen. I'm not even an opera man, but we could have saw a ballerina play, and I'd have took that shit for my pride. I'm like, fuck it. Hey man, listen, I got some headphones. You can just watch this. I'll just listen to some shit. Good.
Listen, guys, I have to go, but congratulations again, brother. And if you're still on after I'm done, I'll come back up and hang with you, brothers.
All right, see you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And look forward
bro.
to the Prince of Egypt on Wednesday and the Rocky thing Thursday. By the way, we're doing it those 2 days.
All right,
but
cool.
yeah, definitely love to have you on. I guess, guys, when it comes to dreams, particularly with me, it's oh man, there was one dream I think one of my cats told me, and I remember vividly because he went into great detail. There was this dude that could turn into liquid, similar to the Terminator 2 and 3, and he told me, like, yo, this guy, he's like hunting me with a gun, and he could like just turn in the water, and he can find me wherever. And I literally felt like John Carter, literally, like he's like it would happen in different contexts, and he had a gun, right, and he literally, and as minute he pulled the trigger, he said, I felt like my consciousness leaving my body, and then I woke the fuck up. He told me it was one of the craziest dreams he ever had, and it scared the living shit out of him. And he said, like, nah, man, it's been the same recurring dream for like 12 years. And I was like, shit. What? And I told him, like, bro, you gotta get that checked out. Deadass. You gotta get that checked out. That's not like some, like, you were doing anything in your past or some shit? And he's like, nah, man. I'm like, you gotta get that checked out.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's not
It's
normal.
I heard in some spirituality practice they can make you have a dream like that to the point that you can. Some people
Want some
will take.
occult shit?
Yeah, some people will take their own life. Will make you have a dream to the point that you may wake up and take your own life. That's when you said he had it for 12 years. This was someone, someone had told me some spirituality practice they can do that.
Because that's kind of wild that he had it for him. I mean, he's still alive to this day. He just now he doesn't have the dream no more.
Okay.
This was 5 years ago. He got that taken care of, and
how you get it taken care of?
extensive I guess therapy, and also a psychoanalyst and all that. So he went through all those things.
Oh wow.
And it's not like he couldn't have dreams anymore or anything like that, but he started having clear, vivid dreams that were more positive. Of course, the occasional horror every now and then, but he was in a much better spot, and I think it had to do with how he lived his life a little bit. But it was because he was former military too. That's another thing. But he had those before he entered the military.
Oh, he did?
That's the crazy thing.
Oh wow.
So, when he was he said 16, he just started having them.
And what you said at 60? At
16.
16. Oh, 16. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he actually joined the military for the reason I thought he can get rid of him that way by toughening it up and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
And he would have, because I think he said if I get tough, if I toughen up on the outside, I go in the military trade, I'm pretty sure I'll be toughened up I'll probably toughen up on the inside when I sleep.
Yeah, that's what I heard it was.
That was his way of trying to take care of it. But after that, he after serving his military time, he decided to go see a psychoanalyst and a therapist too with all that shit, and then he got it taken care of. And
so he said he got shock therapy too. He shock
yeah,
therapy?
that too.
Because this what I someone had told me. Some spirituality, you could get like some voodoo practice. They can put some type of spell that you can have a recurring dream like that.
Anybody out there don't do that to
me. So I was like,
don't do that to me, bro. I don't want that shit. That is just. Hey, listen, you got agreements with me? Just talk with me. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't need that shit. I'm being real, bro.
Yeah, well, I believe you, but I haven't seen it, but some stories that have been told to me, and yeah, it's some spirituality stuff. They can do stuff like that, make you have recurring dreams so bad that you wake up and want to take your own life because you don't want to dream again. You're afraid to go to sleep.
Yeah. And I think that goes deeper. I can see a young kid having that when he was really, really young, and then maybe getting over when he's like a teenager. But it's crazy for a 16. I mean, for him to start at 16 and then have that, and then end it before he hits 30 and things like that. I'm like, okay, at least he got it taken care of. I mean, I'm glad he got it taken care of because I was like, shit, 12 years, god damn.
But what about if you have a recurring dream that is a nice recurring dream, like a sexual?
Would you go to shock therapy to have that stop, or what?
No.
Yeah, I would have to. I don't want to.
Wait. If I'm married at that time, then yeah, you can't have that dream no more. Then
So then
you can tell yourself.
But if you marry, Jay, if you marry and she stopped giving you some, you may.
Okay.
Nah, man. See, if I'm having things like that, I'm gonna act on that.
That's funny.
It says if I had dreams like that, it was haunting me like that, I'm gonna end up acting on. I'm like, yo, I need to have some nookie right now. I need some cookies right now because like, there's no way I'm having dreams like that, and it's like habitually. Like clearly, it's a sign that you gotta take care of some needs. Obviously, you in need of something, so it's like, yo, we'll get you something like that. You know what I mean? But the only dream I had that recurred was it was like a complete 100% recurring because it changed slightly, a slight tweak. So the first dream I remember, it was like I was with this girl I was dating, this Colombian girl. I took her out to a basketball game. My boss had gave me tickets Because she was nice like that. And in real life, she really is nice like that. She gave me tickets, courtside, whatever, right? So we got took her on this date and went with her cousin. So it was me, her, and her cousin. Her cousin was just third wheel. And me and him, I don't know, we got into some beef, whatever. And I ended up like wrestling with him and I choked him out. Like I really took his life right then and there. And I was like, oh shit. It was not my wasn't my intention. You know, that's what happens when you get into a fight. You know, you don't intend on doing these things. So then the next following day, I tried to go to her house to apologize, bro, and I was like, "Yo, like I killed her cousin," so I really felt really bad about that shit. I knocked on her door. Yo, I knocked on her door.
I really should apologize, but
Yo,
Uh,
so I go knock on the door, though, try to make amends to her. I opened the door, she opened the door, she just shook her head and closed the door. I said, "Shit, I fucked up." I was
yeah,
bad.
that's how it works. They open the door, they shake their head at you, then they close that shit right back in their face.
Oh, I felt so bad, man. That guilt, man, of taking someone's life, man, that shit is heavy, especially as like an innocent life of someone that you know that's gonna affect your life. But that shit hurt. And then I had that dream again the next day, but this was totally different, bro. Totally different spin. So this time it's me, my girl, and my father. You know what I'm saying? My pops. And my pops, to give y'all some clarification, my pops didn't raise me. I had a stepfather since I was 2. You know what I'm saying? That's the person I looked at as the father of my life. Now, I respect both men to this day. I made amends to my father. You know what I'm saying? Now, this dream I happened, I think when I was 17. I wasn't 17. I was actually in the Navy. That's the Colombian girl. So this is like I was 22, 23, and I had this dream. So basically, same thing, same scenario. This time I choked my pops out. I took my dad's life, and I was just like,
Damn.
yeah, basically. So I wake up like,
your biological dad or your stepdad?
yeah, biological father.
Your biological.
Oh,
And
shit.
yeah, and I was like, I woke up and I said, do I hate my dad? What the fuck was that shit about? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I had never had no dream like me taking anyone's life for that matter, especially someone I know. I said, yo, this is the first time I ever took someone's life that I knew.
Do that.
Yeah, I was just like, why would I? So then, like, I had to do some soul searching and be like, yo, do I resent my father? And I said, yeah, there was those times and moments that they had resentment for my father. So then I had to go, after I had confirmed these things, I had to go to my father and tell him I forgive him. You know what I'm saying? He was really grateful for that too. He was really, really grateful that I forgave him because I was like, I didn't really know I had that kind of resentment in me until it was shown to me in my dream that, yo, I had really didn't like my dad. Like, I mean, I didn't think of him in that way. That's why I was shocked. I was like, I don't really think about that man like that. Why would I have? Yeah,
Subconsciously, you probably had it in
Yeah, it
the
was-
back, but not at the front.
yeah.
You had it in the back.
Yeah, it was in the back of my man. Yeah. So that's why I went to confront it. And now me and my bops, we like best friends. And like I'm just like him in so many ways. Like it scares me. He's like, yo, you just like me, but you're better because you make better decisions. But you definitely me 100%. And I see it though. That's what annoys me. I'm like, damn, I'm just like my dad. God damn, bro. Like in every every sense of the word, I'm just like that man, bro. It's crazy.
So it seems
He
like
didn't even raise me.
yeah,
Hey, man.
that's
That-
interesting dream right there.
That is crazy. But also, Princess K said it best. She says usually recurring dream signifies something you need to face or something
Right.
that is ahead. And it's like, yeah.
Mhm.
So I've had reoccurring dreams of like my dad being shown in a good light, my biological dad being shown in a good light, like he actually wants to be part of my life and shit. Even though I not with him or anything like that. So it's just like eventually that's gonna be something I have to take care of before at least move on in my life and things like that. Like, yep, that's gotta be something I gotta take care of. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have closure. And I think that's what my mind is telling me because it's happened in different contexts. I'm like, no, he's not a good guy. Here, what the hell are you talking about? But that's what my dreams are trying to convey to me and trying to convince me that this is it. I'm like, no, it's not. I really know I'm in a dream whenever that shit pops off, but I'm like, no. So I definitely get your point to that, bro. Like, yeah, sometimes they do be telling you something, and one of my exes, she had said something similar along the lines of like, your dreams. I feel like my dreams are trying to talk to me. I did, guys. When I was younger, I did chalk it up. I chalked it up to like maybe that's just what you wanted to happen, but there was something deeper what she was talking about. I just never let her knew about that. Like, there's probably something deeper that you have. you probably have some unresolved when it came to her specifically, not me. As when it came to her, probably some stuff that you need to take care of. Like, probably sister issues. I'm guessing with her older sister she had.
After watching the movie The Matrix, does it you're in a matrix when you're in your dream? Does it answer a lot of questions after you watch that movie when it comes to dreams? Matrix.
No, the Matrix hints at something more different for me, man. Yeah, I already told you guys earlier about my conspiracy on that, right? When it comes to Matrix, ultimately, when it comes to us as humans here, right? What's going to end up happening, I believe, is we're going to end up probably being a part of the Matrix. Why do I say that? Because right now, with technology being the thing that's actually pulling us further away from our humanity, right? Let's say, as an example, right? So what happens, right? You have a timeline, right? A vertical line, right? That line is going to represent time and humanity. And then you're going to have a South Pole and a North Pole. North Pole is going to be the rational thoughts. The South Side is going to be the emotional thoughts, right? And as you travel on time, you're going to dive into your emotional aspects. Something's going to inspire you, your dreams, things that don't make sense right now, but you're going to make sense of it over time. And then you turn it, make it more rational, right? And then you go up. But as you're going, that particular line is called progression. As you guys progress, changes are going to happen faster and more rapidly and more dramatically. So you're going to see us come to a peak, and then we go back down to our dreams again, start thinking bigger. And as we're trying to think bigger, we're pulling away from humanity, getting further from it. But then we come back to, like, because we're not going to always forget who we are. But there are going to be moments we're going to forget. But as you start to go past that line again, you go back to the rationality. And when you go past that rationality again, you're going into this phase. But the thing is, as I told you before, as you progress further, change is going to happen more quickly. The change is the curve. So as you guys are changing faster and faster over time, that line is going to end up becoming straight. So before it curved, and then at the end, it's going to end up being a straight up and down line. So now you're witnessing something that is pure logic and pure something that's completely irrational, something that's completely pure creation. The only time you can experience pure creation is in your thoughts and your dreams. It doesn't have to make sense. Like in your dreams, nothing has to make sense at all, and you're complacent in it. And I said, well, that's the one place. So now that I know how we're going to experience pure creation, how do we experience something that's purely rational? Computers. Computers are literally just ones and zeros. That's the only way you're going to be. Yeah, that's pure ration. So the only way you can see yourself experiencing both of those things at the same exact time through technology, we keep going this path, is through the Matrix. And honestly, they have been conditioning us in a way to be complacent and comfortable with just audio and visual stimulation. Like this right here on your screen, all this is audio and visual. I'm not in the room with you guys. I can't smell how the room smells. I can't touch anything in the room that you guys are in. All I got is audio and visual stimulation, and I'm satisfied with that. You see, the thing is, I'm sitting here in this cafe spot. That's cool, but like when you guys are talking about video games playing, right? When you're playing video games, you guys are pretty much going into another world. You're experiencing something that stimulates your mind to be satisfied with what you're doing. If I was to look at you and observe you, you're just sitting there in a room doing nothing but moving your fingers and using your eyes. And that's all you're doing. You're actually doing nothing but sitting on your ass. But that is all that pleases you. Now that you got comfortable being just, satisfied with just this, now that you're good with that, it's not going to be taking me too long to get you into this world that I want you in. Because this world right here, this device is your second world. And most people are living in this second world right now. A lot of people don't realize it. When I go out here and walk around the people, all I see them is doing this on their phone all day. And they don't realize this is the real world they live in. But the world they choose to live in is the one on their phone. The world they have is in their hands. Now that that's the thing. Like, if I can get people this, and think about it's fucked up. It's actually necessary. Because I thought about why the people who dictate culture, who basically tell us what to do, and who rule the world per se, right? The reason why they have to do this method, because there's other methods. It's a numbers game. The population, for instance, right? Like the worst thing that can happen is going to war. Why? Because, obviously lives will be lost, but there are people, right, who don't even have to be involved in the war that will suffer as well. For instance, I'm in Taiwan. There's a heavily dense population here. I don't know how much stuff is relied on because of import in this country. In Japan, I know 80% of the food is imported. If a war was to break out, supply chains to go, where they gonna get their food? You know what I'm saying? That island is overpopulated. They cannot sustain on their own. They need support and assistance. That's every island now, because all the islands are over capacity. Over capacity. You know what I'm saying? Now us in America, we safe. We Gucci. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of fucked up how America did what it did, but that's why we're number one. I hate to say it, but it's true. We think long term as well. We use everyone else's resources and reserve our own for just in case that type of situation does arrive. We're gonna be Gucci. We got our oil still, we got our food, we got everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't import nothing. That's why we don't make nothing in America. We keep all that in reserve for ourselves. Everyone else will buy this shit, will take this shit, whatever. But the thing is, when they start to suffer because of a war or something like that, and their supplies go low, they are fucked badly. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who actually rely on food from us, from South America, the Americas in general. The America, there's a lot of farming food coming from America going over to the East. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, man. Like, if we ever was go to war, we would actually break from all these
So,
things.
but I want to go back to the matrix that you were speaking on. The matrix. I know Google. I wasn't at it, but I seen the lecture at the guy who was in charge of Google, and he said, they develop a chip that you was able to put in the back of your head, and you're able to control everything in your house. If anywhere you went in America or anywhere in the world, if you want to go to the nearest restaurant, Google will tell you in your mind, and it will take you there. Also, Elon Musk has a mind stimulation that he could put inside your brain. Matter of fact, they say he has it, which it can control nanonites and things like that inside your body and stuff like that. So when you talk about matrix, or you talking about the part that you're talking about, is that reality walking around as we do today, or in a stimulation like we seen in a movie? Which one are you talking about? The stimulation part, or the part of, or the reality part?
So just think about reality. Reality is what you make it. Perception is reality. That's the thing.
Okay.
So if you're going to perceive things to this particular device, right? This is why I understand people when they say you like, this is my truth, this is my experience. I'm able to let go of how I see things and be willing to understand how they see things, so I get understanding of how they see it. Because to me, it may seem like, oh, you're delusional, or you're fake, or you're living a lie. And I can say all these things that seem true to me. The thing is, I don't want to necessarily deny someone's understanding of the world, their perception. I think that I'm still trying to make peace with people. So if you want to perceive the stuff you see on your phone, for instance, right? Because the thing is, you don't understand. People get programmed through their phones easily. You have your biases, you have algorithms, you have so many things that are going to tell you, like, this is reality. This is the problem that society's facing, or it's not, or this is what relationships are like, and it's not like this, or whatever. It's like I tell people all the time, like, yo, you're going to be told things, you're going to see things, you're going to be biases, right? And you have to remember that's one world that you're experiencing on your device. In reality, do you really go through these problems that you see every day on your phone? Probably not. Probably not at all. So it depends on where you choose to live at. A lot of people right now live in their phones.
Oh, okay.
To me, they end up making decisions based on that reality and how it affects them in real life. That's why I have a problem with people. It's like, because they end up being narrow-minded in a sense, because they have tunnel vision based on how they were programmed on these devices. So I understand why people say what they say and do what they do, because I know they're living through their phones. And that's why I have enough time to be patient and just listen to what they're saying and not take it so personal. And if I can reach out to them, because the thing is, they don't owe me no understanding. They don't. But then if they ask me questions, which is a good thing, that means they're trying to understand me. If they ask me, why don't I see things this way, or why don't I agree? Well, there's a start. I explain to them what I'm seeing and where I'm living right now. And they may say, oh, you're just a one off. You're a one off. I'm like, no, that's not necessarily the case. I'm not a one off. I'm just living here and not in my phone. And then once I explain that to them, then they start to say, oh, I can see what you mean. I'm like, I'm not saying I deny what you're seeing. I know what you're seeing on your devices is true. You know what I'm saying? And it's a real issue. The thing is, though, there's nothing new under the sun. That's what I took in for myself. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. People who want to solve all these problems, you're not going to solve them, man. I mean, they're here to stay. I know you want to see more positive light, but you know what? There was a song that I heard from Janae Keiko, and it's a beautiful song, and it hits me every time because before I die, I just want to think of the good things,
Right.
just the good things. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, I always see on these devices nothing but bad drama and stuff like that, and it's like I don't want to remember these things. I want to go out remembering the good times, the good
Good
things. Why can't I just remember the good things? It's always just bad things I'm seeing. So that's because I'm putting myself into this particular perception, this reality on this screen right here. That's why I'm seeing nothing but bad things. But in reality, once I just step away from this device and walk around, I see all the good from talking to people like yourself and the world, and I actually start to appreciate it. Experiencing what I'm experiencing, and not just going through the stress. Like, oh, this, that, and there. Like, no, it's more to life than what you see in this device. And I know that for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree with you, bro.
Hey,
Well,
hey, Jay, did you hear about what K-pop did? The group, one of the guys in K-pop in
What happened?
concert. He was in concert, and he was clapping people's hands, but he wouldn't clap the black people's hands at all.
well, you know what he is.
They said that, but that was the. They showed. I seen it on some Willie D's channel. He reported it. He wouldn't clap anybody's hands. All the black people that raised their hands to be clapped, he wouldn't clap it. He wouldn't slap their hand. But everybody else, he would.
I mean, honestly, that's just freaking. That one person is just terrible.
Yeah, I was like, why would he do that? But
yeah, and that's why I tell people like be careful. Like, not all artists are like good people, but trust me, I want to name your music if you one of them motherfuckers. Like, hell no, man, you don't do that because you're gonna clap. I mean, clap. I say, and then slaps the other person's hands or some shit like that.
right.
There's a way of respect and stuff. Like, I've seen. You know what's so crazy? I've seen metal. I've been to metal concerts. The metal, they don't care as long as you like them. They'll clap whoever's hands. You can be middle aged because they've clapped my hand multiple times.
Right.
And it's like the drummer, the vocalist, like thanks, dude. Like because he did it quick. He was like yo. He did it to all of them because he trying to get off stage. So I'm like he would just run and do this, and I'm like thank you, man, you rock. He didn't give a frick what you was. He was just glad you showed up. Because I think that's what they care about at the end of the day. You showed up to hear us play, so we all good. I got. Oh, okay. I got you. Oh no, I got you. I got you, Marvelous. I got you, brother.
Yeah, man. It's been swell, man. I think I said get ready to pack up. We about to take a trip to an island and stuff. About that fun. Like I said, I'm on vacation, but
hey man, look,
I appreciate it.
Go have fun with the family, bro. Do what you got to do. Don't tune into the internet YouTube bullshit drama, man. Go have some fun. That's all that. I'll give listen. I be like, F all these hoes. I'm out.
All right, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all take care. I'll keep in touch, Jay.
All right,
bro. You take care, man. Be safe, man.
Yeah, for sure. Peace.
So I think to one of them, I did want to go to Princess Case thing. She says reoccurring sexual dreams can represent repressed desires or a form of remote seduction. I guess that just goes to more to the you said it's reoccurring ones. Yeah, if it's just a one-off, then it's just a one-off.
Right.
But if it's like reoccurring, then it's something. I know some ladies have that shit. That's actually crazy that they have that shit. It's just yeah. And I'm just like, hey, listen, as long as it ain't me, we all right. Because I go, no. Because guess what? Because it ain't going to be me. I have too many problems.
Right.
So hell no.
Right. I got you.
There was one of them. And I'm like, hell no. Nah. Yeah, just let it be one. Nah, don't even let it be my boys. They married. Just let it be somebody I don't know. And that's the best news I hear all day. It's me. Oh shit. No. Nope.
Right.
Nope. It's not good. At least with me. Nope.
Right.
Don't do it. But I know about like I said, there's some ladies and dudes who I have that. I will say if it's repressed, then it's like you're trying to what's the word? I hate to bring up this example. It's more so you're repressing one aspect of your life, of who you are, and covering it with something else. and that builds up over time. There was something I was really good at, and I kept it repressed for a while, and then after that, it just eventually I put what I was good at to good use, after not having to utilize it all this time. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm good at doing what I'm good at doing the subject I kept repressing for a while. So it's like, yeah, I mean, that's one of those where it's like somebody has to take the forefront or some shit like that. I don't mean when it comes to particularly sex with a woman or a man or some shit. I'm talking about like you cover it with different activities. Like you run, you read, you do all types of different shit. I don't mean people who do repress that. And as a result, they look very depressed and morbid. But hey.
Do you feel y'all young, and Princess K young? Do you feel the older people like myself? Do you feel that we have been? Do you feel that we have failed in some sort of point as far as how the world is going the way it is now? Do you believe we
as
failed?
A whole? Honestly, yes. And yeah, honestly, yes. I would say I'm not saying you particularly, but you're talking about us as a whole. Yeah, I think we have failed personally because there's a bigger thing we're trying to get to and it's not even happening. Because like it. Eesh, man, this is actually a loaded ass question, but also a loaded ass answer. Mm-hmm. It really is, because this goes to politics. This goes to us being into each other's throats, racism, all that nonsense. Like nothing is being done about this. Nothing is being progressed. It's still the same old bullshit. The only difference is we got internet, we got plugs and platforms where people could, we have cameras that can point that out, those people a little bit earlier ahead of time, as opposed to having to wait for years and just be surprised that they're saying this when we know they are. Oh, while you're back, cool. I would say if we don't end up like the Jetsons, then we fucked up. That's what I say. And that's what we should be heading towards. We're still fucking on fossil fuels, for Christ the fuck's sakes, right?
Nah, boy. The way we going, man, we're gonna end up like Futurama.
Shit, that'd be a plus.
Yeah. But Princess K,
look at I'm dead ass. It might be a plus.
Do you think we see Princess K as a young woman? We see a lot in this culture, in this culture where we see BBLs, we see the IG models and things they're doing. Did we fail as the older cats when it comes to the reason why you see young girls going this way, doing things like getting bigger breasts, bigger butt, changing their lips, changing their appearance? Did we fail as an older culture? Is that the reason why we see younger girls doing this these days?
Well, until she answered that, I mean, for me, I'm gonna say it like this: if we were to sit here and say like an entire collective, that the older generation felt the young, on one point, I'm gonna say yes. Reason why: this number one statement. The youth is our future, but yet you haven't built a future for the youth. That's one part. That's one part I have to say. But other than that, I'm also sitting here and say as a collective, no, because let's be honest, who amongst the older collective really had a choice to change a lot of things for the youth? Who's in power? Who's making all the directional moves? We don't. Let's be honest here. We don't get those. Most everyday people that have kids don't get to make those choices. So the only other choice you can really affect for them is their lives and how they grow up. So that's why it goes back to no, you really can't overall say the whole thing, because do you know every household and how every house is being brung up? So technically you can't even say that either. It all depends on the way you look at it and which you're looking at it from a broad spectrum. So in a lot of ways, no, and in some ways, yes. But I mean, but even then to the to the point that you're making about, just the overall spectrum of this and, all the overall visuals, once again, this is another key problem right here. And this is why it's so important for us to be in every different, industry, because you can't sit here and tell me, we got lucky with music in a sense. And when I say lucky, I mean we were able to control our own fate because we're the ones that were producing the music.
Okay.
But when it all came down to it, who was the ones making the big? Look who's the one running it though.
Right.
Look who the big three are. It ain't no black person.
Right.
It's a bunch of white people.
Right.
And we don't control the noise.
Right.
Our only control is when we make it, we are able to produce it. People follow us, and that's it. But then at the same time, then what? We're signing ourselves off to who?
Yeah, that's true. Right.
That's right, Zara, the white man.
So it's like, in a lot of ways, it's like our future is so small-minded because it's never going to get nowhere.
Yeah, she says our culture reflected by the media and agenda pushed through music, film, books. Yup. But there's so many other reasons. Yup. I want to get to the other one on the bottom as she said this because I think she's a follow-up. And I want to say shout out to Princess K for being the only one in the chat to push shit. No offense, Wally, you pushing shit too, but I'm talking about like...
there's like at least one more other person other than myself, but yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. As a collective, no. Individually, yes. What you put in a child is what retains. Facts. But when you have our outer negative influences that carry ideas on what should/shouldn't be done, it's difficult. I agree with you, sister. Damn, you're really typing in the chat. Like, seriously, like, a round of applause for Princess K for being here on the 200 sub special. I really appreciate it, sister. You commenting in the chat. I'm glad I'm getting all your chats. And and with the follow-up, she says, and what happens when you have a situation where there's no positive parenting and many negative influences? You get messed up children that turn into messed up adults. Facts. That all true. And she has another follow-up.
Yeah, I'm gonna add on to that once you're done.
Okay, I'll go back to it real quickly. But I wouldn't say it's fully our elders' problem. We already have things working against us. Facts. All right, go back. All right, Wally, go ahead. We want to touch on this.
Yeah, so to that statement right here, it's funny because I was actually watching a panel thanks to Marcus, right? Because Marcus told me about a panel. I was watching it, and I'm glad I actually went and I actually stayed for a little bit because someone had made a statement about how it takes a village to raise a kid. And one person, I'm not going to mention this person's name. Yes, we know who this person is, but I'm not going to mention their name. And a few other people were saying, no, that's not the case. And I find that funny because even if that may not be your situation, right, overall, it still is true facts, right? Because let me tell you why I say this. We sit here all the time, and I think the one biggest thing is, what is the one biggest thing in our lives we had back then, but we don't have now? We don't. When is the last time anyone you ever heard said they had a family function? When is the last time you ever heard it?
Yeah, that's true. It's been a while.
We don't hear that shit no more. Why? Because people are getting too envious. People getting too jealous. People getting too out of pocket. It's too much. People don't want to do it no more.
Yeah, it's
so. In that same sense, how do you really carry the village? You can't even sit here and say your cousins are your best friends or whatever like that because all this diffusion and everything else of that nature all goes sideways. So it's like you have family members out there, but you ain't connecting with them because there's some bitterness here and there.
And I remember family reunions used to be packed. Now you can't even get about 100.
You said family reunions?
Yeah, it used to be packed. I mean,
actually, we still got those. Yeah,
right, Princess K. Exactly. It does take a village, and anyone who doesn't, those who don't say otherwise, they're misinformed. Yeah, because in a lot of cases, let's think about it. There's so much wisdom from yesterday to today you can literally learn from. I'm gonna be honest with you. I loved all my memories and all my moments going to my grandparents' house, going to my aunt's house, and all of that stuff. I love those moments. I enjoy every last one of them to this very freaking day. I would never in a damn day of my life not sit here and say I would live without it. That's just ludicrous for me.
All right.
And I think in that case, this is where the village comes in. We sit here and act like we don't want to do this, but my thing is, without that village, how do you have your whole entire culture? How do you have your whole entire upbringing? How do you have your whole entire lineage? You don't. So you're trying to tell me that don't matter? You're trying to tell me it don't take a village to raise a kid? That's stupid. And in a lot of ways, this is why, eventually, this is going to come on Jay's channel, because I will talk about it on Jay's channel. I want to ask a lot of people, like, are y'all wolves or are y'all lions? Because the way how a lot of people are out here, especially because of the whole relationship conversations, they like to move like lions. They like to exterminate the past of someone what they once dealt with beforehand and like to bring in the new. But y'all keep talking about communities, right? But then my thing is, well, if you're talking about communities, you have to be the wolf, because that's how the wolf moves. So it's like one moment you want to be singular, but then the next moment you want to be all grouped up.
Right.
Pick one. And I think this is the whole point where it comes across, where it comes so difficult, because everyone wants to sit here and say, well, I don't want to be no stepdaddy and all this. Let's be real. Do you know what happens when the alpha wolf on both males and females birth their children, and what happens to that little baby wolf? That baby wolf is catered to every part of the pack, because that pack has to protect that little pup from being attacked from anybody, because it can't even see.
Right.
So once again, when I hear these things and certain people say this, it's like, it's funny to me, but it's like, what do I know? So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, you got, that's a great point. I guess some people, you think that, I guess some people who just don't see it that way, I guess they more so selfish and just want to do things on their own. They don't want to be a part of I guess the village. And I think that's what it turns into now. You have people just look out for self and not even try to be with the village.
Yeah, because the thing is, in a lot of these things, why no one can't think like that no more? Because back then, I guarantee back then, you probably hear way more of daddy taking care of the next man's kids and all that. It was more fruitful back then than it is today. Why is that though? Because it wasn't an issue back then. They didn't really make that a thing. Now they made it a thing. They made it a weapon. They made it a tool. But see, that's the whole problem though. You understand that they're making it a tool, but my thing is, where does the grown-up people understand that they're trying to use that as a tool, because they're going to use that tool through you, because you're the one that's activating that tool.
Right.
But then this whole point of the whole thing of people being mature. People are not, and this is the whole problem. When people are not mature, you welcome these freaking tools to be activated, and the thing is, you don't even know that you even activated, because you over here just being blind. And this is why we can't even accept a lot of these things out here no more, because we always keep doing the next fuckery and constantly these problems, and yet they wonder why black people will never freaking cease to be at the next level by now, because you constantly keep lowering yourself down to the freaking pit. And this is why these conversations, they don't go nowhere. They're gonna keep being buried until the point they hit the freaking equator.
Blue in the face, bro. You like it really is what it is. Like, I find it funny that motherfuckers are still arguing about some shit like that's not really progressive, and you can keep doing it. Like, it's more so like, how many times have I gone by this? I think Wally's heard me say it too. Actions speak louder than words. Like I said, you can apologize all the fuck you want until your actions tell me something different. It's horse shit. Seriously, like, you apologize and you fucking talking. I'm talking about you actually doing shit, going out there and like actually help build something for the youth to like help them prosper. And yet, no, that's not good enough. So it's like me. Like I said, the biggest problem today, all y'all know, I'm not talking about y'all when I say this. I'm just talking about the ones who do this. This is particularly just them, which I find very funny. All you motherfuckers are like me, fucking with my emotions. How the fuck do you think I feel? Do you think I enjoy having to fucking review nonsensical bullshit that doesn't make sense when it comes to real life? Like, you people, like the people out there who are just sit there complaining. You think I have to take pleasure and talking about things I do not like that are not progressive and things like that within the community. Like I don't like that's why that's like it gets old real quick.
Yep.
Like that stove has been broken and it's not coming back.
Exactly. And this is my whole point. Like, bro, at this point, it don't matter what you say. It don't matter if guys are right, females are right. It don't matter what side is right. At the end of the damn day, it's over. It's like it is what it is. Because it's like we can sit here and talk about all these different topics and all these different things, and all these different topics really could be in reverse to the other side, either which way. But we can dance this all day long. But let's be honest. You can sit here and blame one side. You can sit here and blame the other side. At the end of the damn day, this relationship still takes what? 2 people to fucking tango. One way or the other, both of our faults. Regardless, don't matter which one's more or the less. At the end of the damn day, whatever the equation is, it still equals 100%.
Yep. And
Pick it up.
It takes two. It takes 2 to have hardcore sex, but also 2 to raise the child that was done between the 2 of them.
And see, and this is why, honestly, I perfectly have no problem standing by men, freaking mental, aka men going their own way, because personally, it's like at this point, who cares, bro? It's like I'm done with this. The government got y'all all freaking whipped up, bent out of shape. Good luck.
Actually, to put it in better terms, they're the government's bitches at this point, and I bet that'll really get them triggered when I say that, because it's just like, yeah, you're. Hold on, Marcus, no stream link, bro. Marcus, don't come up, man. Heal.
Yeah, we
love you, brother, man. But I'm not putting the link down for you, bro. You gotta heal up.
Yeah, because you might come up with that throat and hurt us all.
No.
Marcus, he wants that dang link, though. Marcus is able to come up. He's able to come up, but you know.
Yeah. I think Marcus knows he says no stream link. I just love how he says the first thing he says, and I'm just like, no, bro.
Right, because he didn't lock it in. Nothing.
You ain't coming up here. Sound like Barry White.
Very White.
Well, what's my man then? Nat King? What's his name?
I feel like Marcus needs that unforgettable song sung to his ass, not by me, but by that man. Because like you need a chick, hear some good old music in your brain while you recover, instead of you trying to speak like Barry McCockner. and Barry White slander, shake my head.
Right, but you know what? But yeah, but look at what Princess
Nat King Cole. Thank you, Nat King Cole. Thank you, freaking Princess. Right. I like Princess K. You know, sister. Yeah, exactly.
That's why, darling.
You know why?
He froze for a better moment. Yeah.
What you say about? Would you say, Wiley, what Princess K said?
Yeah, no, because she made a comment earlier saying, I am tired of seeing lonely elder Black people in these retirement homes. All they talk about is regretting visit them. It's sadness. And see, this is the whole point. Like I said, look, regardless how you feel about Kevin Samuels, there's some small points that he made that is fucking true.
That's fucking true.
Yeah.
And my thing, this is freaking one of it. The end all be all, when you think that you have something in your life, no, you can have a burden without someone literally being there by your side, and this is gonna be a burden.
And no one's next to you in your bed.
I'm gonna be honest with you, we all may have some friends here and there, but even then, even your friends can't be there for you, on emotional.
Exactly. They have their own lives that they're living.
So it's like
they'll be there to help you as much as they can, but like, let's be real. I think there's a part where I grew up where I realized I couldn't rely on my friends forever. I had to rely on myself and do things. I've been under that realization for a good 6 years, and it's like I think me moving was the best thing, because I had to be on my own, and I had to like really learn, and I did, and I realized that me having that significant other by myself, by me, not by myself, rather than being by myself was like the best thing to work and strive towards. But be the best version of myself, but also have that next to me. Because let's be real, I said before, Brother Clarence, as I'll say it here, like, bro, the best feeling ever. Like I said, I really would like to have an Adrian to my Rocky. Mm-hmm. She ain't gotta be perfect. She just gotta be like, hey, like I said, be like Adrian. But like, realize that she's average looking, but she is nice, pretty in the end, personality wise, and she supports me, helps me, but also I do right by her. Simple. That's all I gotta do. I ain't want your friend on super complicated bullshit that you can like that's like hard to understand. She is simple and it gets things done. Hence, like I said, guys, get ready for that Rocky stream Thursday. I promise you, we're gonna go really in depth and shit like that. But yeah, like I said, I just want to Adrian to my Rocky. That's simple, man.
Right. But one of the many things. Look, I'll be honest with you. This is why these days I just tend to like just joke around here and there. Sometimes like on certain panels, like I'll be on a channel and I'll just make some jokes here and there. I'll be sarcastic because it's at this point it's like it's all rinse and repeat. Like y'all just recycling. It's just a recycle. It's like okay, well keep recycling. It's not gonna make a difference.
And that's what I see too. I don't see more educating each other to show each other.
More one like all for one is what it is.
That's the thing, though. You know why, Vaughn? You'll never see it because people are just arrogant as hell. I promise you. It's like, how do I do this? It's like even to a point, like we can sit here, like I said before, right? We can sit here talk about one point, but my thing is, can this one point also be not reflected to the next person on the next side of the argument? Like, for instance, perfect example, and I know I'm going to be a dick for saying this, but oh well.
Say it.
One of the biggest things is this, right? They talk about the deadbeat fathers, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Could we not flip it and there could be a conversation of a possible deadbeat mother?
Yeah.
But why we don't talk about that, though? Because it's
taboo.
Woman to do it. It's a problem for a man if he does it.
Marcus, bro, hold on. I'm sorry, Wally. I'm sorry, Wally. I know you're in your point. I apologize, brother. Marcus, we love you, bro. But why are you here, bro? Heal. Goddamn.
Hold on. I heard some straight up slander putting my name up with Barry White. I heard it from a guy from Baltimore. He's a guy. For anybody who doesn't know where Vaughn used to hang out at, it rhymes with widget and strip club. So he used to be kicking it at the little Oompa Loompa Lollipop Guild Club. That's where he was at.
Willy Wonka?
Okay.
Yes, Jay. He was Willy Wonka throwing the gold bars.
Ain't nothing wrong with midgets. Ain't nothing wrong with small people. Hey, they grown.
That's true.
Like I said, you be out there with the whole so-called horror movie Orphan. You be dealing with dwarfism. That's on you right there.
Right.
I want to come up and say that. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm about to drop now, but I wanted to come by and show you support, Jay, because you hit 200 subscribers, and I try to push your name out there, your channel out there to other people that know to come over here and show you support.
Hey man, Marvelous was just on today, so I really appreciate that. I've been trying to get him in the street for the longest, but I'm trying to make connections with other people, trying to get my name out there a little bit. But also, hey man, like I said, most of the channel success goes to you too. Like I said, it goes to both of you, Wally, and every cat that's been on here to help. I love you guys for your help. Also, our camaraderie is freaking legendary on this freaking channel because we can go to freaking each other and not get angry like fucking children, which is good. I love we actually got goddamn sense and some actual critical thinking. But hey man, you just heal up. Thanks for popping up. And just like I said, just heal, brother. Just heal. Don't worry. I got stuff planned for this week, so we good.
I'll probably be. Usually my sickness doesn't last that long, so it lasts within a week, then it's gone. So that's usually the time frame that I give it.
Hey man, hey listen, you got a week off, bro. Just heal and chill and relax, man. And let your lady take care of you, and you just heal. Do what you got to do. So
now I gotta clean my computer. Since he's talking, I might get.
Man, let me get you
Oh Lord,
that sounds so funny, man.
Let me make you divest.
Yo, man, I took 2 jokes in that just now.
This ain't Baltimore, son. This ain't Baltimore no more.
I'm gonna have to clean my computer now. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to clean it.
You better clean something else because you're messing with them midgets, man.
But I mean,
midgets are bad people, though. I think they're really
Cool.
nice. Yeah.
Unless you get them jackass Johnny Knoxville type midgets.
I haven't had one, so I guess I'm in the clear. And I'm whatever I'm doing something right. So I ain't gonna fuck up.
Right.
Hey,
But you
real
know,
quick, real quick, y'all been talking about some of the news I've been hearing on Marvel and DC and stuff.
No, we haven't. No, actually, I think we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll end it. Actually, I think because there's a lot of stuff to really go over with Ezra Miller shit. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that. That's what I'll do. The Marvel stuff, I don't know what's going on, but the DC, I definitely know what's going on with them.
right.
Well, Marvel supposedly they have confirmed projects already for Wonder Man and for Nova.
Okay.
So we're waiting for those two projects to come out.
Yeah, I heard about the Wonder Man.
And then I'm excited because I'm a big Nova fan too. So
Nova, that's good. Yeah, well, you need more Hispanic representation more often than not, and Nova's one of those characters.
Well, I'm down to hear
name more Hispanic now. So you got two representations right there. There you go.
I want to see Richard Rider and Sam Alexander. I want to see them both first.
Oh, okay.
In their order.
The American one.
Yeah. So Richard Rider's the first one, then the Sam. So.
Oh, okay. I got you. I trust me. I think me and him are consensus. Want to see Robbie Reyes again. I want the same actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, if they did it for Daredevil, they can do it for Robbie Reyes. I mean,
yeah, but there's got to be a demand to want that actor back, and I'm like, I'll throw a petition for it. Of course, I would. Yeah, because he was the best probably Hispanic Ghost Rider we ever had. I like him way more in Johnny Cage.
I also hope they put John Burns.
Johnny Blaze. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because when they said we do get him, then I want that same actor because he did a really great job. And man, he actually made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. relevant when he came on. He actually did make it relevant because one time he was in there, it was good. But yeah, Marcus, thanks for coming up, brother. Once again, thank you for contributing to the 200 subs, brother. It always helps, like I said, to the channel. Like I said, we're gonna have more collabs. We're gonna have more things come up. Also, more videos. Like I said, be ready for the Prince of Egypt Wednesday and the Rocky. We're gonna talk about
Prince of Egypt. I think I said Prince of Persia.
No, not Prince of Persia. Nah, man, they get.
Hey, see,
that movie was trash.
See, I swear you said some Prince of Persia. See, great. Now I have to.
Not Persia. Games are good, but not the movie.
I want to see. I also forgot that they're still making that show for God of War on the streaming service too. So God of War.
Oh shit!
These shows I'm looking forward to that are video game based.
I'm gonna lead this when it comes to that, dude. You can't fuck up Kratos.
Yeah,
it better be listen. What I want it to be better than Game of Thrones quality, and it better be like better, R-rated.
Yeah, it definitely has to be somewhat R-rated.
I'll delete the Prince of Persia thing when.
Well, no, because God of War is R-rated. The fuck Kratos, bro.
The Last of Us looks really good though. The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Plus, you can't go wrong with that.
It looks to be good. I mean, that's not hard. That's not hard to adapt.
Yeah. But real quick. Yeah, other than what I mentioned last before Marcus came up, but yeah, go.
That movie was trash. I love Princess K.
Yeah. But Von, yeah, to your question about the whole anime thing, the animation, like Jay, I also thought of that myself because I do think about anime characters myself, like just building them up, like trying to build a story around them. Because I do actually have not a deep list, but just I'm building it as I go here and there among certain scenarios. Cause I'm trying to get a good premise around an idea of how this hero story would begin. Mm-hmm. And of course, but I already got some characters here and there. And other than that, like that, as far as drawings though, I haven't got that locked in yet, but I got a few good ones.
Oh, that's great, man. I hope y'all get together or band together and come up with something and some content, and some good content and educational content, because we need it. We need different ways to educate one another and to help one another.
Yep.
Can I ask you something, Vaughn? Can you educate me on something?
Oh, how to get better so you won't affect people? You want me to educate
you? How I can pick up midgets. Teach me how to pick up midgets.
Oh, how to get a midget?
Yeah.
Oh man, we can have a discussion on that. First, you just have to go up to them and pick them up. It's like picking a baby up.
Well, physically, it ain't that hard, right? You can literally lift them.
Everybody, the thoughts and reviews of the stream.
Now, this is okay. Now, see this one right here. This is interesting right here. Right? Can someone create a character with a magical afro? I'm gonna screenshot that on my phone. I'm gonna screenshot that.
I'm about to head out though, but I'm gonna get some.
Oh, that'd be nice. Have a afro with a midget in it peeking out. The afro.
Oh Lord.
Yo, my guy, y'all making me call tonight. Yo.
But hey, I know it sounds funny, but that would be a good one because the midget will be telling you certain stories, or it could. Hey, I know it sounds funny, but it could be funny but educational. It could be. Have the midget come out.
Don't be surprised when you see some really attractive looking midgets, because Black Men Unfiltered has a soundbite where he does it for Mandrell, and there's actually a really attractive looking midget on there.
Oh yeah,
you should see the number of guys that say, "I would smash the shit out of that midget."
That midget that played in MacGyver, I always thought she was pretty.
What? MacGyver had a midget?
Yeah, the MacGyver, the new MacGyver that was coming on. You never seen that one?
I know what he's talking about.
And she was pretty. What that movie? What's it? Housewives, the Small People of Atlanta. They got two twins in there.
Oh yeah, they got a reality show. Yeah, the midget.
Yeah. That's nice that are like activated by motion.
Hey, don't sleep on the midgets now.
Now, Princess K, I think we'll do. You mean a sister with afro? I can do that. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? You know, Princess K, watch Intergalactic. I think you might get some ideas because she essentially, his sister did have an afro. Actually, she did actually.
Oh yeah.
It looked good though. I admit that, but her hair was like mostly in one place. Yeah, curly. 4C power. I mean, I wanted extreme. That's funny. Naps that extend and are activated by moisture in the air. That's funny. That's funny as fuck. You say moisture in the air. Okay.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with sports lately.
Oh, JP the Aspiring. Thanks for being here, sister. I appreciate it. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was
the Lakers are 0-3.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I'm happy too.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great. You know what? Happy that
Listen, I actually watched the highlights of Dame doing this thing. I'm so proud of Damian Lillard. Thank you, brother.
So that guy
you should still be on our team, but you did your thing.
Well, I think I just want to see LeBron get the beat outtake.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
I knew the Lakers weren't going to beat them. I just want to see LeBron get the scoring time.
Whatever. Whatever.
That's all.
It don't matter, Vaughn. It don't matter,
LeBron, bro.
Once you get that, I'm good.
It don't matter, Vaughn.
It matters. Once he get that, I'm good.
How about how you know? Were you there?
I'm gonna be there once he. I'm gonna try to get there. I'm gonna try to get tickets.
But you ain't gonna be there. You ain't gonna be there.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
You can try.
I got. See if I can use my connection.
When she raises her hair, it can hear thoughts. That's fucking hilarious. Yo, Princess K, where you getting this shit from?
She hear thoughts. Yeah, it's funny.
What'd you think of UFC 280?
I think what?
I was asking. I don't know if you guys watch UFC a lot, but UFC 280.
I'm still shocked that he finished that. Islam Makhachev. He finished him by submission. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting TKO.
I kind of was expecting more. I was expecting either a unanimous decision or a submission. Because I was thinking it's going to end in submission, not a knockout. Either submission or unanimous decision.
See, I just couldn't see the submission for me personally. I just couldn't.
Well, because think about who he's trained with. He trained with Khabib Nurmagomedov, and he trained with Daniel Cormier. He's trained with a lot of elite, like grapplers, wrestlers. He's done submissions in his training at AKA in San Jose, California. That's what they practice, and they wrestle top
I have
wrestlers,
an
collegiate
overactive
wrestlers.
imagination. Gotcha.
They do like a lot of the BJJ jiu-jitsu. Um, so that's what they do. So they're practitioners. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like for me, it's like if it was just a full grappling match of just picking out which one hit, I just didn't.
If you remember
Like,
the
as
first
far as the
round,
fact
they went swinging at each other. And you saw the first round.
right. I mean, because look, as far as the fact that he used an arm triangle, it's one thing because that's more of a muscular transaction versus a more of a joint transaction. But it just for me, I just thought TKO was going to be the ideal thing for him.
I mean, that's what it looked like the first half of the first round because they were swinging at each other like bombing. But then it's like, I guess they get taken in the ground, and he had a triangle arm choke on Islam when Charles Oliveira was on the floor and his back on the floor on the mat. So he was about to tap him. It looked like it, but then he just got his head out of the way, so he was able to avoid it. But then TJ Dillashaw lost, but he only had one arm, so he was fighting with just one arm. He dislocated his shoulder in training camp. And then you had also Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley, and I think Yan won that 2 rounds to 3 or 2 rounds to 1. I got 2 rounds. They screwed him over. They even break down the chart too, where they saw like the amount like standard, kick, takedown. I know that he shot 13 or 14 takedowns. He landed 7 of them. So
now, you know what's funny though?
What's up?
So, to your point on that Peter Giannis and O'Malley thing, right? Without actually reading an article, right? They said the same thing. They said there was no way in God's green earth that dude could have won. That dude was either 3-1 or 2-1 at best.
Because even Sean O'Malley said himself, he even looked confused because he's like, I wasn't really sure even if I won that fight. It was like 50-50. I wasn't even sure I was going to win. And then even on another interview, he said, yeah, I think I lost, but I guess they gave it to me. And then Jan was like, F the judges and F the UFC. And boom. So, yeah, it was a confirmed robbery.
Yeah, it was weird because, I mean, I don't know where did they did it at? Or was it Las Vegas or something?
No, it was in Abu Dhabi. No, that's why when Islam won it, when Makhachev won it, and he dedicated that fight to Khabib's dad who passed away, and Khabib, that's why they were all in praise. And that's why it was a big thing
because my thing was because to me I know like when it comes to like certain places where they do the fights, they usually get robbed like crazy. So like, that's why I'd be like curious, like I don't know, but I mean it was just weird, man. That's why I say, man, look. Don't never leave your fucking fights to the decisions because you'll get robbed like that. You'll never know. You got to finish those fights. You got to finish them. I mean, even though it was like one-sided, but still you got to finish that shit. Because people, you don't know what the hell they scoring on.
But I mean, like the judging has gone even worse, I think, over the years. Like the judging has gone down. Like if it was like the George St. Pierre days, the judging was more accurate because you could tell when the fighter was dominating the round. And clearly, like George St. Pierre is a perfect example.
Right, but
except
that's
for like one. What was that?
No, I said, but you know, like the biggest criticism of UFC, let alone MMA, in most cases, those judges they're mostly boxing people. They're not even MMA people, and I think that's the really issue because it's like those judges don't really understand what's really going on when it comes to this world. They don't understand the boxing.
They always say that Vegas has the best judges. If you do it like in California or you do it in Florida, the Nevada Athletic State Commission, they always have like the best judges compared to the other places where they might fight. Whether it's outside the country or in country, so the best chance for you to actually have a good fair judging is in Vegas, is in Nevada, if you were to go to decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then boxing is making its own noise too. But yeah, I just want to see. I want to see Deontay Wilder fight either Ruiz or Usyk. I want to see those two.
You think that fight he just did was a good fight? You think?
Which fight, Vaughn?
Did he just fight? Didn't he just fight?
Yeah. Oh, Deontay Wilder? Yeah, but he knocked the guy out in the first round. So
yeah, but did he look good to you though? He didn't look good to me.
He did.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think he looked good to me. I mean,
I think he bounced back. I think the best opponent for him to fight as a second fight would be Andy Ruiz. That would be a really good fight for him. Usyk, I wouldn't fight Usyk until after. If I were Wilder, I wouldn't fight Usyk or Joshua until after I would beat Ruiz. Then you beat Ruiz, and then you would go fight either Joshua or Usyk. And that's.
I mean, I'll say this. Go ahead.
Go for it, Wilder.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this though. I mean, as far as his fight coming back, his opponent, I never heard of this dude. So it's like, for me, I take it like this. It's like they just feed him some easy meat and then just knocked it off.
Right. Because so that opponent looked like a tree just standing there for him to just knock out. You could tell he was hesitant. So some of the jabs that the other guy, his opponent, was throwing him, you could see if he was a little bit faster, he'd have stuck it to Wilder, just like Fury did. He's too hesitant now. He's too hesitant to the point he don't want to get hit. You could see it.
Yeah, but my thing is the reason why I didn't see that it was a bad thing. It was because personally, here's my thing about it, right? One, I'm looking at it from the point of how good Wilder can cut in, because the way Wilder cut in that counter and dropped him, like literally in that small place, knowing his arms is that long, that tells you he can literally counter you perfectly enough to the point that he can counter you with his long arms inside a closed area, then to top it all off, knowing that you're so close, and he's in the back on the ropes. His back is on the ropes. So in that sense, that's why I also say that fight is actually pretty good, because the fact of the matter is like, if you get knocked out like that, I mean, that's just bad luck for you.
Oh, you talk about Wilder?
No, the other dude that he knocked out, yeah.
Oh yeah, but he was just a tall tree just standing there. He didn't have no action, no movement. He didn't jab well. His jab wasn't well, and that's all you really had to do with Wilder is jab. You keep jabbing him and jabbing, because look at his defense stance. His hands are just wide open. That's why Fury, that's all he did was just jab, because his defense stance is weak.
I mean, I guess that. I mean, the only thing is for me is like, it's one thing to say all you have to do is just jab, because let's be honest about one thing. It may be the obvious idea to do, right? But that doesn't mean that just because all you have to do is just jab, it's not going to work for you. Because remember, you got to be able to be fast on your feet if he comes at you, though.
Right, that's true.
So it's like, if he can, because let's be honest, if Wilder can catch you, I mean, shoot me, you better make sure you can take all those shots, because that's another thing.
That's true, but see, that's why I think that, and that's why the guy he just fight wasn't fast. He wasn't even fast on his feet. He was just a tree trunk just standing there.
Yeah,
that's why he was able to knock him out. Which was Fury. If you look at Fury's defense and how he defends himself, he was faster than that guy. So that's why he will last long. Mm-hmm. See, Wilder he's one of those guys. He tries to knock you out. Because
Wilder's more of a brawler than a bruiser.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
the funny thing was, he finished that fight with only like 3 punches.
Yeah.
With
that was the crazy part for me.
With Fury and Usyk, they're more tactician fighters, so they're chess players. So Tyson has both knockout ability, and he can play the chess where he can play the long game. So imagine like if Canelo or Terrence Crawford, they have the long route, or they have both. They have knockout ability, and they can beat you a long haul too. Same with Golovkin before they screwed him over with Canelo fight. Triple G can do the same thing. He can knock you out, or he can beat you in 12 rounds. Unanimous decision.
Did y'all see? Have y'all seen that young guy, young boy, 16 years old, coming out of Mayweather camp? He's like a young Javante
Oh,
Davis.
he's like the
and
next
Steve-
prodigy or something like that, right?
Yeah, that little boy is nice. Oh, he's gonna be a problem. He is going to be a problem coming out of. He's out of Mayweather camp. Oh man,
Good. More
he's gonna be a
competition.
problem.
Yeah.
He's going to be a serious problem.
But that's usually how it goes, though, because like every 10, 15 years, there's always going to be a top guy like that. You know? Like,
Yeah. What y'all think about what's his name? Hangley. Hangley? What y'all
he's
think
nice.
about him?
I'm gonna give some. He's nice. He is nice. I will give you that. His credibility has been going up, but he's got to beat two people in his way, and that's Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. He's got to beat those two dudes, and he's got to beat Lomachenko. Those are the three dudes he has to beat in order for me to call Devin Haney the pound for pound in his division the greatest.
Yeah, I think he'll beat the one. I think he'll beat two out of them. I think he'll have a hard time with Davis.
For me, I think the upset could be Lomachenko or Tank. Tank has more of a knockout ability, but Lomachenko has the overall like speed, power, fast combos. He can also have experience, even though he's older and he's lost once to Teofimo Lopez. I think the reason why he lost that fight, though, when I watched it round for round, it was because he started too late. Like, and so that's when he won his 5 rounds out of the 7. Some people said it was 6-6. I say he lost 7-5, but that's because he started late. Like, into the 5th round or 4th round, that's when he kind of started turning up. But you're not supposed to do that, especially with high-level impact fighters. You got to start off in the 1st or 2nd round. You know? But he started going off more in the 5th round, 6th round after the fight. I was like, come on, man, you can't be doing that.
I didn't watch that woman. That woman who just won the. I didn't. I gotta go back and watch her. Someone I just seen something.
Shields?
Yeah, Shields. I gotta go and watch that. They said she.
She's nice, bro. She's nice.
Oh, she is. I gotta go and watch that.
She's probably the best female boxer right now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I think. Yeah. Because like no woman really stands a chance like that with her. Maybe like I think one time she lost, but that was in MMA. I don't think I've seen her lose in boxing at all. And if she did, it was like a tie or something like that. It was like a draw. I don't think I've ever seen her lose in boxing.
Yeah, I think she has a draw on her record overall.
Oh, I didn't know she did MMA. She did.
She began her MMA career.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is she good? Is she good?
Oh yeah, she's good. She, for someone that just got into it, she's good.
Oh, okay.
Because Clarissa Shields signed with PFL, which is basically like MMA league, kind of like Bellator UFC. But she went like 2-1, so she won her first 2 fights, which was great, and she lost the 3rd one. But she was saying she was going to go back to do the boxing thing because there was like female boxers that were calling her out, and she wanted to go back to the gold. Obviously, in boxing, there's more money in it overall, and especially if you're a high-level fighter, like high-profile fighter, you're obviously your name is out there and you're pushed a lot more. You're gonna get more fatter checks. So she went back to boxing. The promotions agree with her. I think Ronda Rousey, she probably was one of the smartest females to get like a good incentive in getting her contract and getting her money, because when she was with the UFC, she was getting paid like Conor McGregor.
Oh wow!
So she was getting the money because she was the pioneer of the first woman to do that, besides Gina Carano. But Gina Carano never went to the UFC.
Is she still fighting? Rousey still fighting?
No, she does like WWE. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but WWE gave her a fat contract too, though.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Shields is only like 27 years old to this day. She's literally 27.
Yep.
Who?
Like,
Ronda Rousey?
Clarissa Shields, the boxer.
So she can definitely have a long, decent career if she want to go into MMA for real.
Oh, okay.
The big super dream Hollywood fight is Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. That's the one that. everybody wants to see that fight because Seth's gonna know who's like quote unquote the pound for pound, who's the greatest boxer, and they're both between 145 and 150. So,
Right. Okay. No, she only has She only has two fights. She's 1-1.
Who's that?
Precious Shields. So she won her first one by TKO, and then she lost the other one by split decision. But as far as boxing, she's literally 13-0.
Oh, okay.
Professionally, because amateur fights they had like a lot of
right. Professional, yeah. So she only has 2 knockouts, and then the rest are decisions.
But you know what's crazy too? I don't know, Vaughn, have you heard of bare knuckle fighting? Have you heard of that, or bare knuckle boxing?
I heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Bro, it's so bloodthirsty, but there's a lot of money in that. It's so ridiculous the money that's going up for people to get paid to do that. They get like basically people that are like were in their prime, none no more. They watched up like ex-UFC fighters, ex-boxers. You put them in there, and they pay them money. Well, you see them after because they're literally fighting bare knuckle. They're not fighting with no gloves or nothing.
What? Wow.
Yeah, it's allowed. Like they allowed it.
Oh,
the athletic commission allowed it, and I guess the purse must be nice enough for them to allow it though, because some of the damage these people are getting though is terrible. Like bad enough, brain damage and shit.
Yeah. You said they fighting against professionals?
Ex-professionals, yeah, like people that were washed up or out of their prime, or still trying to make a name for themselves. You know.
So, who are they fighting? Professional against amateurs, or are they fighting professional against professional?
Either which way.
Either which way.
Oh, either which way. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It all depends on the totem pole you on.
And you got both men's division and women's division for women.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part for me. Like bare knuckles for winning, like that.
So what is it? Is it on national television? Is it on national television?
Well, it's like pay-per-view though.
Right.
Yeah, but you got to see the faces how they look after the fight, like how.
Oh boy!
Terrible.
I couldn't do it. It's like watching scary movies. I couldn't do it.
That face,
Nawali. What was that announcement you wanted to?
Right. Yeah, no problem. Right. So, wait a minute. Let me get on cam real quick. But
like I said, we'll be wrapping things up in about 15. I won't have us on too long, but
all right,
it can get really good. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So, just want to add this in here. As you guys already know, or you heard a little bit here and there, my show for Jay Takashi will be starting next month, amongst November. So I'll host, the next 4 Thursday. The next 4 Thursday live streams. The first live of that month will definitely be.
You guys trying to take my job? What the fuck? Have a nice day. Hell no.
Hey, look here. I didn't get some freaking privileges around here. This man's listening to my
brother.
But yeah, so
Marcus, heal up, bro.
The next 4 weeks.
He's good now. Go ahead.
The next 4 weeks of November, I will literally be hosting, my platform show for that time of the week, right? Just to enter in my show. And then after that month, me and Marcus will flip it back and forth, or maybe we'll collab together on exact day of, each stream overall. But, my show will basically be called the RBR show, which is reacts, breakdowns, and review. And that'll be amongst neither anime, movies, anything else we can think of, just to give a broad spectrum of to the channel. And that can go into anything like theories, breaking down how certain anime shows have sort of fell in direction. We can rewrite or retell stories like how we would do it if we were in control, stuff like that.
So, what's the show going to be?
Wally, congratulations.
So, what's the show is? So, what's the show? I missed it. What's the subject of the show?
So the show is basically about like it's basically going to be more lead towards movies, anime, TV shows, any of that sort. And we'll just do like I'll literally react to it as far as
make sure we fit in Von Erich for an episode where he talks about his sexcapades in movies.
Right.
Yeah, this is the reaction analysis part that's actually in the intro.
Yeah, so right. So it'll basically what it'll cover is like, so let's say if I were to do a movie, right? Any movie you can think of, I'll react to it as far as what I think of the movie, as far as like when I look at this movie, this is a lot of things I can, connect with it, right? Then of course I'll break it down as far as, points in the movie, like certain timelines. And then my review is my overall thought process of basically saying, you know what, this I would literally give this a 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I break down.
Like almost like a Cisco and Ebert type of thing.
Basically, yeah, you can say it like that. Also, I didn't tell this to Marcus yet, but I may as well just tell him to it now, right? We're definitely gonna because I know Jay, he brought up a solid live about what things can men do to improve themselves overall, and I think we can definitely do a live where we can talk about male growth, personal development, stuff like that. So we can do like a collaborative live between the three of us, and we can just pump that out overall.
All right, for the record, he doesn't mean like we're gonna give you advice about birds and the bees. We ain't doing that shit. We're not holding your hand.
Right.
AKA,
it's just gonna be on ideas. This gonna be on Thursdays, right? It's gonna be on Thursdays.
Yeah, mostly Thursdays. Yeah,
mostly Thursdays, but like it'll be so what he just said, it was like a rotation. 1 week it'll be Marcus, the other week it'll be Wally on Thursdays. That's how it's gonna be rotated like that. That way, give Marcus a break to come up with something next week of what Toppy wants to do. The same thing with Wally, vice versa.
Okay. Marcus saying, because I can barely hear this man.
I'm sorry. He'd be sick.
Shut up.
I'm not being funny. I was being sincere.
No, I was talking to Wally.
See what I
know you was literally talking, so I was like, what you were saying.
See, as I told you guys, generosity don't count for shit nowadays.
Nah. I was talking to Wally.
I'm sorry. I'm on my Christopher. I'm on my Christopher Lloyd shit right now. All right.
Oh man.
What he said was right.
Boy.
Oh Lord. But
you know who Christopher Lloyd is, y'all. Back to the Future. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Shout out
to yeah, yeah.
I remember him on Taxi.
Oh Lord. But
the Chester Pat. Yo, thank you. Congrats on the 2,000 subs. Appreciate it. 2,000, sorry, 200. I would love to have 2,000. Shit.
Yeah.
2K, like shit. I wouldn't even need to do like specials no more at that point. But yeah, got that. Appreciate it, Chester Cat.
Yeah, also let's add this caveat. Your boy Jay Takashi, he also finally popped up his own Twitch channel. He hasn't started up yet. That will eventually coerce with this one. It'll cooperate with this eventually. You'll eventually stable that. So when that time comes into play, we will definitely drop that link so you guys can also subscribe over there and help him out grow over there as well.
Exactly, guys. Like I said, the following matters.
Right. So other than that, what else can we add to this as far as just news for the 200? We're definitely gonna make some more better moves moving forward. Trying to get this to be to a higher quality as much as possible and develop it between the three of us, me, Jay, and Marcus, so we can push this to be a more pleasant experience as far as to anime.
We got to be more careful of copyright strikes. Well,
yeah. But don't worry about that. There's ways to work around that. Yeah,
because I'm tired of the motherfuckers giving me copyright clearance until I do a reaction. I'm about to fucking start beating their ass.
Really? They be giving you that?
Yeah. The only one for the Creed one, they gave me one for that.
It's only a couple of minutes.
What? Like music, you know how they are about music and shit. But the thing is, within that trailer, their music, I'm like, yo, it is what it. Don't worry, guys.
And this is why And this is not. This is something I'm gonna have to talk to you on the back end because
no, don't worry. We're gonna talk about it on the back end before I.
Yeah. Because there's some extra stuff I want to talk to you about.
Because there's some shit that I'm like missing that I gotta do better on. But the Black Panther one, they never gave me one, so I'm cool there.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
There's certain ones that have music because I don't think that one hardly have music in it. Maybe that's why.
It could be
that movie Black Adam, was that in a comic book or something? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's part of DC.
Yeah, bro. It was awesome. I went to go see it 2 days ago.
So it was an actual DC character.
Yeah, DC character.
Basically, he was a rival of Captain
Shazam.
Marvel. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, aka Shazam.
Was actually the original. It was actually the original Captain Marvel before Marvel was to fight off for the Captain Marvel on the Universal Marvel Studios.
So DC is. I know Disney brought Marvel. Who got DC?
Nobody. DC got DC.
Oh, they're not brought by anybody?
DC owned. I think, if I'm not mistaken, DC's owned by Warner Brothers. Isn't
Warner Brothers right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
They have a contract with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they got a contract with Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because usually when you look at their movies, notice you see the WB symbol, the Warner Brothers symbol. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Right now, like Black Adam's really good. To tell people to go see that shit.
With Marvel's owned by Marvel's owned by Disney and Sony. So it's like
that was the big conflict with having Spider-Man.
Yeah,
so when they were trying to put Spider-Man in the MCU, it was tough because Sony was coming out with the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield.
Right.
The thing is, they were on separate stories, so like
exactly. But the thing is, but here's the funny part to that, right? They shouldn't really even have a problem because think about it. If there's a multiverse, okay, their own Marvel needs to control a certain multiverse, just like they can just control the rest of their multiverses. That's all that really matters. So I don't see what the conflict is.
There's still other characters that we need to see, like Nova and Sentry and Red Hulk, which I heard Red Hulk is.
But they're gonna bring those in. They make a really big threat to have those people in there. Of course, they're gonna be the power until they're being allowed to amp up like Scarlet Witch and Thor.
Does the people who write those so the ones when they in comic books and then when they come into characters in the movies, who does the writing? The same people that does it in the books?
No. So hold on. So this is what they do. Obviously, there's screenwriters. There's the writers for the movie, but they also take source from the comic.
Right.
Obviously, we know who the main people are, right? For Marvel, it was Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Those are the two main people. However, along the line, as the days went by or years went on, we had other characters come up, and you have to get other people who wrote their stories. So while those writers and screenwriters get sources from the comics, it's individual how they write it along with the director if it's greenlit, because the script has to get greenlit to be accepted. So when the script and the plot is written down, it has to obviously it needs to make sense. It needs to make for them, because remember Stallone, he did it for his movie for Rocky, and they got turned down like at least a dozen times.
So when y'all go and see it in the movies, do y'all make a comparison, or is the movie better, or is the comic better?
Honestly, the comic's better, mainly because you can literally get a full description of the whole scenery. I think the problem with the movie side of it is because there's always going to be you could say a rush input because of the just how things come in and out of it. It's like, how I want to put this.
It
what you get from the comics, you're not going to really get in the movies too much. It's like, especially to the point where you like, for instance, perfect example, Superman, right? We see Superman, but we don't know what Superman we're really getting. It's not, we don't know what you're really taking this from. What version of Superman are you taking this from? Because personally, to me, when I look at this Superman, I'm thinking this is going to be the Superman that wears the black suit. But you're showing Justice League and all this is like, okay, this is too confusing.
But to be fair, though, when they made Man of Steel, that was actually probably one of the best ways they've used Superman as a piece character. And then when they did the Zack Snyder version, of Justice League was during the pandemic when they released it in streaming service. That Justice League was way better than the one that we got in 2017, because it gave it more due dividends, and then it had Superman in the black and silver suit, and then they had the Flash like a great character, and then the components, yeah, Batman actually looked better, more tolerable, and then the villain, they changed the look of the villain because. So the reason why the original Justice League fell apart on the original movie was because the original director, Zack Snyder, who made 300 and Watchmen, had to leave because a family member passed away. So he had to leave, and Joss Whedon, who directed the first two Avengers movies, which obviously he didn't direct the three and four Avengers after, obviously showed why he should not have been hired in the first place, especially for the jalopy that it looked like in Justice League of 2017. So when people kept asking for release the Snyder cut, Zack Snyder was able to complete it for the fans, and people bought the streaming services, and they saw, and it was like an 8.5 for me. It was like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10, in my opinion, for as far as a movie.
Right.
Has comic books still on a steady as far as how it used to be years ago? Is the collective still?
I mean,
it has to depend on the director and the writer of the screen too.
Like, what do you mean exactly? Break that down for me.
Is it the same when it comes to if you keep it and save it? It's still worth the same, or the collective is not worth?
Okay, so so if we're talking about the nuances, that has to wait out a couple of years, of course, because. Look, if you had like old classics, those are big collectibles because they're old classics. But today, right now, those values, they're not valuable because, well, of course, they haven't had some years on them.
Right.
And plus, you gotta have those very special collectibles. So,
do people still collect them like they? Or is it still
I know one person. Yeah, I know one person that collects, and they got some classics. So.
Oh, okay.
They got that.
I think the thing that kind of messes up some of the modern comic movie based like film is the fact that they try to add the modern reality into the movie. They try to add like wokeness and stuff, like being woke and like pandering to liberal, and like you see and Wally knows what I'm talking about because
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They try to relate too much of what's currently happening in our own view of the real world ourselves. And I kind of don't like that. I wish they could just separate that.
But I thought that was one of Stan Lee's things that he did when he was.
But here's the funny thing, right? Because I'm actually going to slightly counter that, because here's the thing, though, right? Think about when we watch the cartoons, right? Especially, and this is where the comics to the cartoons to the movies. This is where the comics, the cartoons, then the TV series, then the movies. This is where it actually all intertwines a little bit, because if you think about the cartoons, right? Think about Superman in the cartoons. He was literally a journalist. He lived like a journalist. He moved as a journalist. So they're always going to add those components because they want to say, because what the message is, there's a hero in all of us as everyday folks, right? The only difference is when they actually turn into the heroes, we don't just got the powers. That's the only difference. But there's a hero in all of us, in every common folks. That's what they're trying to sell.
That's not what I mean, though, Wally.
I know what you're talking about as far as the BS.
I'm talking about like She-Hulk, and I'm talking about
I know.
And Doctor Strange and Thor: Love and Thunder, all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that bullshit. Fuck that.
Yeah. I got no problem with that one. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. To those parts, yeah, it's a lot because. Honestly, it's one of those whip flashes. It's like
I couldn't watch it.
That was evil.
I couldn't.
No. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna shut it down here. We can have this conversation backstage. All in all, everybody, thanks for the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 viewers that were here to tune into the stream about us. I'm kind of bummed you to ask us any questions, but Princess K, you were wonderful in the chat. Appreciate it, sister. Thank you. Be sure to subscribe to my man Wally here, World Top Productions. Check out Mr. Von Erich. He's always on Brother Clarence's channel. And You can find Marcus here or everywhere, actually, because he's everywhere. And no, it's the truth. He is everywhere. And all guys, you know where to find me. MJ Takashi here. And like I said, just be on the lookout for the new format that's going to be here soon. And y'all have a great night. We about to get in some talk. And I gotta give me a fucking drink.
Salute good people.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Try be well. Try not to get sick. And go to sleep with your wife.